It's the Wednesday wrap-up show with the Black Comic Lords.
What's up?
Mike Davis.
What's up, people?
Mike Davis in the house from Blurred's Underground.
Mic check, mic check.
Joining us today. Who's that? Who's that? Is that Choco with a red hat? Is that a FUBU hat?
You motherfucking right. Shut that energy off early, baby. Yes, sir. Shut the energy off right. You see me out here. I was waiting for him.
Yo, you should have came in playing Fatty Girls.
Yeah.
You want to get copyrighted music? Copyrighted music?
Well, you know, you could play like 10 seconds before they hit.
Nah, son. And just when they think, oh man, yo, listen, this is from the vault. It's from the vault. We out here
in black too.
Oh, damn.
We out here. Nah, son. Talk to me.
Don't make me go back to 93 and pull out some cross.
For life, my boy. Matter of fact, take the red. The red is too ice, too trumpy.
The black goes with your background. There you go.
There we go. Yeah. What up?
We got a question. We have a question for Phil already. A question in the chat for Phil.
Phil, where's your glasses at Temu? Getting refixed.
The Dharmas is like its own personality, man. That's like
it literally is. It's his armor. This is his uniform.
I mean, I could go. Never mind. I'm gonna be quiet. I ain't
Yeah.
You can't throw some tape on the Dharmas.
I promise I'm trying.
Throw some tape on the Dharmas.
Oh, no.
Tape on the Dharmas. Don't disrespect him like that. Come on.
Back in third grade.
Trying to disrespect my boy. Tape on the
Let me ask y'all this though: Are we ever going to get the Did we ever submit a StreamYard ticket though about the issues with StreamYard?
Yeah, I believe they did.
Feel like I did it already. I did. Excuse me.
I'm tired of using this computer joint. I need to put the real joint back up.
I have no idea what he just said.
He's saying StreamYard and Kmart are not compatible. That's all.
God damn!
I thought it was great value. I thought it was the great value from
Great value.
Check this out. I want y'all to and listen. I'm gonna tell y'all hating ass.
Nobody's hating. Nobody's hating.
And listen, I want all y'all. I want all y'all to remember these jokes. Tell y'all something. Because when y'all come to all the movie premieres and y'all come to the joint and y'all gotta pay y'all money to get in, y'all ain't on the joint. I just want y'all to remember that. Matter of fact,
what do you mean pay? What do you mean pay?
I'm just gonna have to happen. Y'all niggas getting that free no more. Y'all got me. Listen.
Don't talk about Temu. Listen.
You know he's serious too, right?
I'm serious as hell. Paul, no, I ain't playing.
That's what I'm saying. What do you mean pay?
You will literally fly all the way out to LA, put on your now and later gators, show up to the premiere on the red carpet in your rented, Uber X because you trying to be flossy, and you're gonna show up. Uber. Hey, I'm here. Sir, you're not a guest.
I listen.
Go get Big Phil right now. I don't know that nigga.
Who the hell rents an Uber X?
I'll be like Black Comic Lord too.
Nah, what you would be is Black Comic Lords. You mean those FUBU guys? No.
Has FUBU
I'm coming off early. I don't care. Nah, son.
On the real though, has FUBU ever had a comic book?
They should.
Why was FUBU Comics?
I can help that make that happen. Let's get that.
They should.
Okay, ain't too late. They
relaunch. Not only should they come back.
Look, I got a Shark Tank for you. How about FUBU Comics?
I want a certain somebody to review it and be like FUBU Comics. Here's my thoughts.
What are we talking
about?
Not
been a thing.
Yeah, what are we talking about? What are we not talking about?
All right. So first of all, let's say what's up to the people in the chat who've been patiently waiting.
Oh, we got so many people in the chat.
You heard exactly. Keep the same energy. You go it. You know the vibe.
Frustrated fans. What's going on? How you doing? Jake Carter in the building. What's up, sir? Marwan Williams. What's up, fam? Anthony Davis.
Yes, sir.
Yo, a nerd. What's up? We need to get him on the show. Malcolm, we need you on the show. We need to talk about 15 comics. What up, though? Kevin Pitts.
We need to get Super Slab sometime.
Super Slab.
Man, that guy. He's from Ohio. Nobody cares about Ohio.
Oh my God.
Hey. Angel, why are you in the Mr.
What?
Alex?
She support?
Thank you, sir. Thank you for spreading the
Encouraging participation.
isotoners, Phil. Why don't you use like black rubber gloves?
I'm
John,
trying to what we even talking about right
what's
now.
up, Lords? Is this one of your family members, Randy?
Why?
John
Because his
David
last name is Michelle? What type of? I know I got the Trump color hat on, but why are we going racist all of a sudden?
No, right. He literally has your same last name. What are you talking about?
So every Michelle got to be Haitian and related to me because I'm Haitian.
First of all, I didn't say he was Haitian. I just said he's got the same last name as you.
You know what?
But yes, it sounds like
Mike, that sounds like a Haitian name though.
Jean
David
Michel.
Michel. Jean
That's
David, not
very
Jean, but
Haitian.
Jean David.
Jean David.
Jean David Michel. You know, I hope he is Haitian. We come over there and jump y'all.
Come on, man.
Yeah,
Oh
AJL.
my goodness.
AJL is using our exclusive logo, but it's just not
I
coming.
mean, because
through
AJ knows how
StreamYard.
it is.
We can't see it.
Jean David, I am Haitian. Sac passe. Oh, partisan.
Napule.
Well,
All right.
Stop. No, negative. We gotta fix that.
Stop.
What do you mean?
Ghost dog one time, yo.
Negative. Matter of fact,
Salute to Mike Davis from Chillmonger.
we gotta fix that.
What's up, Chill?
What's up,
Let's see
Chill?
who else we missed here.
Chill dropped a dope video, which we're gonna talk about.
Okay.
There's a message from-
What else? So we got a lot of people in the chat. All right. Let's get into
Oh,
it.
here we go.
So here's the thing.
Mm.
Hit me big.
Yeah. Okay. If anybody wants Super Slabs, just if you think you want Super Slabs to join, you got to put 1 in the chat right now.
Wow.
The number one.
I told you Mike Carson's not
one,
allowed on the show.
One.
Well, we can change that.
One. Of course,
No,
he is
Super
one
Slabs.
for himself.
I
One.
mean, you cannot vote for yourself.
All right, y'all listen up. Here's the thing.
All right.
Dr. Wizard, do you have the pictures lined up?
Sure do.
Okay, great.
Let's go.
So the last couple weeks in these comic spaces has been interesting. I don't want to get into all the foolishness and the drama because I got enough drama in my day life, in my real life, to have to worry about comic book drama. But it's brought up and raised a lot of issues that need discussion. About how comics work, how the Black comic community works. Why is it that we have these same arguments going on for decades? There's nothing new under the sun. We have these same arguments going on for decades about why Black comics don't sell. I watched this video recently by Bird Without Fear, Ernie. I love that. I love watching him. He's always got great content. And he did this one about DC So White and this movement that he has hashtag with a group of other Black podcasters, all well respected within the community. Talking about it's a great video. I think we linked it in the description. But he goes through DC's history with Black characters. And he makes a lot of good points, all valid points. Stuff we talk about all the time. Why is it that this really dope series only gets 5 or 6 issues, a trade level? It doesn't get the time to cook. Why aren't these creators given time to cook like their white counterparts? Why is it that you have a character like Mr. Terrific who literally is in the theaters right now? People know who he is. Big deal. Has a series out. You're not promoting it. Why you only give them 4, 5, 6 issues? Let the team cook. Let them go. Let them grow the character. Develop a fan base. Take advantage of the zeitgeist you have from this film, and let the character be organically grown. There's more than enough evidence that DC can do more. But what it's not to say that they haven't done anything. We've seen it. There have been a lot of projects that have come out. The Power Company, Black Lightning, this Milestone project that we just saw. Even the other iterations of that, Milestone Season 2, the 30th anniversary edition. They've tried. They've put stuff out. But the question is, it always seems like it's somewhat of a haphazard. We'll do it, but we're not really gonna like promote it. We're not really going to throw our full support behind it. It's kind of like we're just putting it out there to say we did it, to put it out there without actually throwing some emphasis behind it. The way that other comics have, the way that other characters have. But having, what is it, 1,100 days or so now without a DC comic book with a black lead character in an ongoing series, that's kind of crazy, considering of the two mainstream comic book companies, DC has more black characters, more than Marvel. Not one. Statistically improbable that you have that many characters and not one gets an ongoing series. So we also have these other videos. Brandon Easton did a discussion last week. I think it was last week. He dropped this video. He did a great series called Mr. Miracle. No one bought it. He lamented the fact that no one really promoted it. DC didn't really promote it. A lot of fans didn't promote it. A lot of fans didn't buy it. A lot of fans said, I never heard of it. That's a problem. That's a problem. Because I read that book and it was a great series. We promoted it within our space. Chillmonger, another respected comic creator, dropped a video recently about explaining FOC, Final Order Cutoff. We talk about in these spaces all the time about the importance of pre-orders. I mean, the other Black Comic Lords tease me all the time and call me Pre-Order Paul because I'm always talking about pre-orders. The point that I would like us to make, to discuss, is how complicated an issue this is. It's easy to say, it's just this. It's their fault. Or it's just this. It's his fault. Or it's just this. It's this factor's fault. But the reality is, it's a lot more complicated than that, unfortunately. So here tonight, we have a few people to talk about this issue. Let's start with our guest, Mike Davis of Blurred Underground. Sorry.
Yep, that's all good.
Mike, you're a retailer. You're in the ground. You're in the grassroots of everything. You see everything from, as a fan's perspective, you see it as a retailer, you see it as someone who also has been to the big two corporate offices and been asked the questions and have asked questions about this subject. So I thought it would be good to actually get real information about this subject. So why don't you talk about that?
I got you, Paul. I appreciate it. And what's up, everybody? Look, I just want to acknowledge the energy behind this whole thing, like the energy behind the DC So White or whatever other hashtags there might be floating around right now. I just found out about this last weekend. And if people feel that a hashtag or a petition is the best way for them to express frustration about representation, I respect that. Like fully respect it. These conversations do matter, and I think historically a lot of progress in comics and in other areas has started because folks spoke up and demanded better. So I'm not anti. I don't want any of this to come off like I am. But what I try to add to the conversation is the perspective of someone, like you said, Paul, who runs a comic shop and sees how the business side of this industry actually works. Because in comics, publishers absolutely pay attention to social media, but the biggest signals that they respond to are purchasing signals. You can have all the hashtags you want, but they care about those purchasing signals more. Retailers on our side place orders months in advance through our distributors. I talked about this last time, and there's been a lot of shakeups in this, but for DC specifically, it's Lunar Distribution. All right, that's who we submit our orders to. Those pre-order numbers that we make determine how many copies get printed in the first place. And when a book sells out like this Milestone one did, and retailers submit reorders, that's what triggers a second printing. And it tells publishers that there's sustained demand for these projects. Okay, so that's important, sustained demand. Because I think while it's good that we see this book sell out, and that was the goal, right? Get every copy off the shelf. As a retailer, I can, if that book sells out of my shop and no one comes in asking me for it after the fact, I may not submit a reorder. Mm-hmm. But if I sell out that book and I got 10, 20, 30 people coming up to the counter saying, why are you out of this book? Are you getting any more copies? Those are the signals that I'm like, all right, at the end of the week, let's place a reorder for this. And if that happens and that makes its way to the distributor, they're going to in turn go to DC and say, there's enough demand here from across the country. We need a second printing. So if fans want to see more books featuring Black characters or more Black creators, there are really two powerful things that you all can do. And the first Paul been beating the drum on since forever. It's when you pre-order these titles. You're telling the publishers, you're telling the retailers, your dollars are behind this, that this content matters and it deserves a place on the shelves. The second thing, and I'm trying to teach this now, is if your shop sells out, ask them to reorder it. You can do that. Even if they've already sold out of it, tell them to pick up another copy, even if you have it, and tell them when it comes in, I may even buy another copy or two of my own, but I want you to submit this reorder. When dozens or hundreds of retailers submit those reorders, that's the data that publishers look at when deciding what gets a second print and what's going to become an ongoing series, because they see the consistent market demand for it. So for me, it's not like a either or. Awareness matters. Hashtags can start that conversation, but if we really want to move the needle in comics, we have to pair that with awareness, with action in the marketplace. Because, when publishers see both a passionate community online and a strong pre-order number in the stores, that's when real representation stops being a moment and starts becoming a sustainable part of this industry across all of the publishers. So I just had to get that off my chest. Sorry if it was long-winded.
No, you're on point. My concern is, shout out to the creators that started the movement and the hashtag, but oftentimes in our society, people don't go beyond the hashtag. Right. Because they have a whole website, which literally goes through all the points that they're making. And sometimes people don't go through the hassle or the trouble in their minds of going to the website and actually reading it and getting the full story.
Right.
So they'll simply think, oh, let me just forward this hashtag and I've done my part. And it's not really.
Right.
That's not really what I think their intent is, certainly. So the more people that can talk about this, the more people that can spread the word about, this issue, the better. Mm-hmm. Derek, you and I have talked about this at length. Along the business side, we heard from Mike from a retailer. You come from a corporate background, among other things, which we're not allowed to talk about. But he works for a company that has 3 letters in it. Derek, why don't you tell us what your viewpoint is on all of this?
Sure. I tend to not get as emotionally tied, specifically because I work in an environment where emotions don't matter as much as return on investment. And you have to understand that corporations' number one goal is to maximize every single dollar they have and to the best possible purpose. So that said, you know, you got to take a step back and think, all right, yeah, what's going on? Okay. You got to stop and think about, you know, what for every single dollar, if I've got, you know, 5 different things I can invest in, I'm going to pick the one with the highest ROI. And by the way, some ROIs are easy to prove. I'll just be honest. The marketplace and the industry is set up today for the people who are already buying from this existing distribution channel. The people who are already tuned in to FOCs and everything else. This marketplace is not made to attract new readers, to attract different audiences. It's not meant to meet people where they are if they're not already looking in the comic shop or looking at FOCs. It just isn't, if we're talking about, you know, that part of the market that operates off of FOCs. So then it makes it a really tough game, I would expect, for anybody in a corporate setting to support the notion that we have to make an investment in things that aren't going to that main channel. That the data just isn't as easy to come by. So we have to be aware of that, and it means we have to somehow do more, I feel. And it's not fair, but I do feel like that's the fact in the situation. And then if we get to indies, I think it's an even bigger challenge.
Hold on, before
right?
you even get to that,
Yeah.
one of the things that I don't want to be glossed over, the point that you said that structurally, there's not much incentive for the corporations to change a model that they've used for decades.
Yeah.
That tailors itself to people that do have knowledge about how to do FOCs and pre-orders and things like that. But the thing is, those same people, a large portion of those people that do that are ones that are invested in characters that have existed for decades, which is why, from the corporate perspective, from the Marvel and DC perspective, there's not much incentive for them to go beyond the characters that people know. That's why we always see a Spider-Man book.
Well, it represents additional investment required to do that.
You don't have to sit there and worry about, should I create a new character and open up a new market? Why? We have these characters we've had for 60, 70, 80 years. Yes. There's a market for that.
Yeah, unless you can prove there's just a strong market and it's going to give you a return on that investment that's equal to the return investment on this thing that you invested in a long time ago. It just hums on its own.
That's
just the way I look at it. I don't know if it's correct or not, but that is the corporate way. You know, I'm out to maximize shareholder value. It is not emotional. It is just, that is the way we work.
We get sentimental about comics because it means so much to many of us, the passion of it. But when we're talking about corporate comics, we're talking about Marvel and DC, these are corporations. Rich did a whole live about this. Mm-hmm. They don't owe you nothing, is what it told everybody. And that's facts, right? And these corporations are risk averse. You had a model that you've been using for 100 years. Why would you shake that up? Particularly when you're now, because these are corporate comics, the purpose of the comics have changed. What comics are now are not the same purpose that they had 50 years ago or 60 years ago, right? Comics now are promotional material for the intellectual property. And that intellectual property is movies, it's television shows, it's cartoons, it's video games. That's where the money is. When they're looking at their pie chart, comics is a small part of that pie. And it's used as marketing. It's not used as, it's barely used for source material. It's used for marketing of the stuff that actually makes them money. So why would you change that model to appease these people?
Unless there's enough evidence to show that there's a market there and there's money to be made that gives a suitable return on the investment that at least matches the return on investment they get on the obvious stuff. By the way, there's this question from Nine Minis. I think, Mike, maybe you want to.
Yeah, if you don't mind, I saw that and I immediately wanted to jump in and help add perspective to that, because that's a known challenge. And it's part of the reason is, again, as we're talking about ways that you can support these titles, one thing I failed to mention, so I'm glad you brought this up, is that when you have a title like this, the New History of DC or others, even if they're not ongoing series, when you go in and pre-order that book, ask to subscribe to it, because not only are you subscribing to the first book, add 2, 3, 4, whatever the issues coming after that are as well, because to your point, that happens a lot. If I get a lot of people just buying the first copy of something to see if it's going to be hot, the second issue order is the toughest one, because it's more like a guessing game. How many of those people are going to come back and buy issue 2? Because as a retailer, and I don't want to get too much in the weeds here, when I place an order for that number 2, I'm already agreeing to prepay for all of that stuff at cost, right? So if I buy a ton of number 2s thinking that demand that came up off that first book is going to be there on number 2, and then I'm wrong and I'm sitting with 10 copies on the shelf of number 2 because the first issue was whack and nobody wanted it, I'm eating that cost, not DC, not the distributor, the retailer. And in our game, we operate on very thin margins. Like, some of those decisions can really cost you in a month, a tight month. So what I would say is to everyone here, if there's a series with Black creators on it or Black characters that you're really passionate about, don't just pre-order the first book. Ask them to subscribe you to the ongoing series. Like, on our website, when you add something to a pre-order, we ask you, there's a button on it. Do you want to make this ongoing or single? Everyone's shop should have that ability, so that you can signal that you don't just want the first copy. You want all the copies that's going to come after that. And if you're unsure, just pre-order the second copy. If you're not sure when you buy the first, if you're going to vibe with it the whole time, pre-order the second one. But it's really hard to tell if people only sign up for that first pre-order and you don't get a lot of signals on the second. It's a math game that you try to figure out. So that's absolutely the case, but that's why you should subscribe to an entire series if you know you're going to be rocking with it.
Mike, so does your store offer a discount to people that do pre-orders or subscriptions?
No. So what we do, we have a rewards program. So when you sign up with Blurred's Underground, it's sort of like, every dollar spent, you get 10 cents back kind of thing. And the reason that we do it with a rewards program is because we want you to come back. We want you to make future purchases. If I give you just a discount up off the top, you may get that discount off the first purchase and I never see you again. So it inspires loyalty. That's the marketing tactic. But Derek was going to talk about it. I mean, that's just one tactic we use. The other reason we do that is because what a lot of people don't know about the retail industry, I say we operate on thin margins. They are laser thin. And most of us get discounts based on value. So I'm a smaller shop. Most of my books come from the distributor at about a 50-55% cut, right? Then I got to tack on to that about 30 to 40% of overhead costs, things like rent, light, utilities, and all of those fun things. And so at the end of paying all of that, I'm usually left with about 10 to 5% if I'm lucky to consider for the shop, reinvesting in it, getting marketing, promo, stuff like that done. So if I give you as a benefit a 10% off to pre-order this book, I could be giving you that book at cost for me. Like, I could make nothing on the book. And, a lot of the guys who've been in this industry 40, 50 years, got 6, 7 stores, got an online marketplace, they got discounts I ain't unlocked yet. So they can afford to put you that 10, 20% discount. So what I tell people all the time is, if you're in the market for this to get the lowest cost, there's some online folks I can't compete with. But if you want to circulate that black dollar to stores that are going to continue to support our culture, our people, like our stories, make sure they're on the shelves, that's the way you got to roll with it. Roll with us. We still give you a benefit. We just got a different thing. We call it a rewards point. I'm sorry, I just went through that long-winded explanation.
No, that's the point. I mean, you mentioned something that's important. Here's the thing. I think I heard someone recently say, well, I understand the hesitance about doing pre-orders and subscriptions, because what if you don't like it and you end up spending money that you didn't want to spend or what have you? Or what if you don't have the money and you pre-order it? Well, here's the thing. You don't pay for the book until it comes in and you pick it up. All right. There's some people, like when I was younger, I've been doing pre-orders and subscriptions since I was a kid. That's how long. That's probably why I'm so passionate about it, because I've been through this for a while. And you gotta wait until I mowed enough lawns that I had my money that I can go buy some comic books. Right. And I might not have money until the end of the month to go buy comics. But because I had a subscription at my local comic shop, my LCS, I was able to pick up my comics at the end of the month. But because I had a subscription, they were discounted. I had like 15, 25% off those comics. So that allows you to actually buy more comics. It incentivizes you to pre-order and get subscriptions, because they give you either incentives like Mike has at his store, or they'll give you flat out discounts off of getting a subscription or getting a pre-order on these books. So it saves you money. Think of it that way. It actually saves you money to put in your vote for the books that you want, for the characters you want to see, for the creators that you want to support. There's literally no reason for you not to pre-order your comics except laziness or lack of information, which is what we often find. Well, I didn't know that book was coming out. That's a phrase we hear all the time. That's why we try to have these shows. That's why we try to talk about what's coming out. That's why we have a League of Comic Book Geeks pull list with our name on it. You can always go there and say, hey, let me see what's coming out in a month from now so I can go ahead and pre-order those books. You can do that on your own. You can, most of these bigger stores, if you want to go to your LCS and order from them, but you need to see what's coming out and your store is not that sophisticated with doing previews of what's coming out, you can go to a bigger store like Midtown or My Comic Shop, Third Eye Comics. These are stores that have those pre-orders on their websites. You can go ahead and make a list and take it to your LCS. Take it to a Blurred's Underground. Take it to Gulf Coast Comics. Take it to Comic Den. And give them that list.
Another thing, Paul.
Yeah.
So this kind of goes to what Derek was saying. So as someone who's behind the scenes at Bulletproof Comics as well, who's seen all the in and out. So Mike here is a representation of oh, sorry. I got to saw the ad. So Mike is a representation of a niche idea in a niche space, because comics are niche, right? But Mike, also being a African American shop owner, also plays heavily here as well, right? So perfect example. All month, right? Black History Month was Milestone Month. It is what it is. Black History Month was Milestone Month. Milestone stole it. That was our month, right? I had the signing. People came, people saw it. I had the signing. Golden Apple had the signing. I went across every comic book shop in Brooklyn. Every single one that I knew, obviously my stomping grounds. And then I realized, wait a minute, I have 200 bookmarks on Whatnot. If every one person buys one book, I ain't got enough inventory. I need more books. Right. So I then reached out to what we consider the big boys, right? The Midtowns, I don't want to say their names, a few other people, but if you're in New York City, we know who the big box shops are. Obviously, Midtown, they had inventory, but all the other ones. And I would ask them, and this is beforehand, hey, do you have copies of this book? And they would literally look at me and say, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, what do you mean you don't know what I'm talking about? And they're like, yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm all right. Can you pre-order this book for me? And some stores would literally tell me, because they didn't know who I was, and I'm a big guy, chocolate guy. No, because I'm like, no, I will buy it. They didn't know. They're just thinking, some random dude. And they're like, no, we don't buy that. We don't pre-order that book because our clientele doesn't read that. Two, I don't want it to sit on my shelves. At the same time, it sounds crazy, but I also understand because Mike, you and I get it from. We don't want to. The death of a shop or the killer is you pre-order a book, or you order a book from Lunar and you look and it's a month and a half and that book is sitting there. Now you throw it in the archive box and you're just like, all right, now that book is a month or 2-3 months away from becoming a penny box or in a dollar bin, right? Mind you, we know, right? Because I do the orders of Bullet. I see what Bulletproof. We know we just spent X amount of money to buy this book plus shipping and all of that to host it and have it sitting there and it doesn't sell. The reason why I say that, I'm gonna jump and get you in, Paul. The reason why I say that is because when we have our shops that look like us, the Comic Dens, Mike's shop, right? Bulletproof, Anyone Comics, the shops that cater to us. One, they're of the know. They're in the know. They know that there's a Milestone book coming up. It's gonna be hot. They know that Sanford Green has a book. Stephanie Williams has a book. Pre-order it, and then the inverse happens. And we were talking behind the scenes. You know how many times I walk into Bulletproof and I'm like, "Why is this in my pull list? Shut up, read it." And I'm like, oh, this is a book by Christopher Priest. It's awesome. But you don't get that type of catering if it's not a LCS that caters to us in that regard. See what I'm saying? And then that data, because you have all these stores that are not pre-ordering because either their clientele or they don't want to push it because they don't want to sit on the shelves. This goes back to what Derek was saying. They're right. They're not getting enough data because there's not enough stores that look like us to give them that data, even though everyone's screaming, yo, we need black books, but there's not enough stores. The screaming is one thing, but getting the data is another. Right. They're looking at the data and they're like, yeah, from what we're getting, people aren't asking for it because of the lack of pre-orders, because of the lack of this, because of the lack of African-American LCSs. So it's all of that plus more. So I definitely wanted to at least touch and add that as well. Derek, you were going to say, I'm not saying Derek, Paul, you were going to say something.
Yeah. So here's the other thing, because I cut you off before when you're bringing up indies. And,
no, you're fine. You're fine.
I wanted to roll into that aspect of it because we've already talked about the challenges of getting corporate comics to make changes. They see dollars. We can hoot and holler all day about this is what you should do. This is the right thing. Things like what's fair, what's right, what's ethical to a soulless corporation whose job is to make money for its shareholders is not the best tactic. They see dollars. They see numbers. As Joe said this weekend, it's a binary relationship. It's ones and zeros. All right. You have to, the only incentive they have to give us the characters we want, to give us the books we want, to help the creators that we want is ones and zeros. That's where the pre-ordering comes in, because they're not going to help us with marketing our creators. It's not going to happen. Paul, that's why you had Joe Illidge put together. He doesn't talk about this, but
single-handedly,
God help the guy. I mean, he single-handedly promoted that Milestone book, even put together his own trailer.
Yep.
That hot trailer, you like, it looks like, DC put out a trailer for that. Was Joe Illidge.
No, that was Joe. Yep, he did it.
He doesn't sit there and pat himself on the back and say, look what I did, because he focused on the task. But I'm gonna give the man his flowers and give him a shout out. The man worked overtime to promote that book. That should be his job.
Paul, can I say something as well when it comes to that? Writer. Paul, I want to add just one caveat to that, because while we're pushing for more, I want to take 10 seconds to congratulate every single one on this panel and everyone in the chat. Let me explain why I say why. Because obviously behind the scenes, got information, whatever. Two things. One, there was a call, there was an action. We need to sell X so we can get Y. Boom. Absolute Batman. I'm going to keep on burning this because it cuts straight to the point. Absolute Batman is the hottest thing since fish grease, right? Mike, you were there from a retailer aspect. When Absolute Batman dropped, I was there, right? I remember literally opening the Lunar box going, Absolute Batman, what is this? Absolute Batman dropped on a Wednesday. No, I'm lying. No, it did. It dropped. We got the boxes on Thursday. We always get the boxes a week before the books come in. We bag and boarded them Friday. We put them on the wall Tuesday. Wednesday was sell day. Absolute Batman sold. Yes. But here's something I want to highlight, and I want to slow down here. I know I could be long-winded, but stay with me. Absolute Batman issue 1 first printing did not sell out holistically, meaning the book dropped on Wednesday. You could have went to any LCS in the world and still get copies of that. Now, granted, it was no longer $5. It was probably $10, $20, but they had copies. It was still there. Boom. I need everyone to understand and understand the power that we have. So when you hear Paul, when you hear Hirsch, Rich, myself, Oracle, the whole gang, the whole BCL, and we're sitting there talking about this power and we can do this. And I said this last week, and Phil said it, and it's almost freaking prophetic. We are in a black arts renaissance from top to bottom, from original art to writers to editors. Do you guys understand that not Chocolate, not Phil, not Paul, but we sold out of the Dakota incident in 2 goddamn days? There's no copies in any LCS. Now, there may be 1 or 2, but it's sold out. The book dropped on Wednesday. Yeah. Bulletproof Comics. I go to Hank. I'm like, yo, Hank, you got copies? He's like, if you ain't pre-order, you are SOL. Absolutely. I went to Midtown Comics, because of course Midtown had inventory, but Midtown changed their structure, meaning when Wednesday the book dropped, you can walk in and grab 10 copies because it was being respectful, but Midtown considered it as a regular book. Go get 10 copies, call it a day. Thursday, they were limiting it to 1 per customer. Midtown only does that when the book is hot and it is a bona fide seller. We did that. DC ain't promote shit. You know the vibes. Let's keep the energy on point. DC ain't promote shit. Joe promoted it. All the whole zeitgeist from Blurred Girl and JP a Number and all the BCL. 100%. I'm gonna rock my crew. Paul wants to be humble. No, I'm gonna rock my crew. BCL had everyone here. We did that. So first and foremost, give yourselves a mother round of applause. 100%. I also want you to sit in that. When you experience that, when you experience God, when you have another problem, you come back, you say, you know what? The God that I serve is okay, because if he got me out of this, he can get me out of that. I need y'all to sit in that and understand that we did this together. So if we can do this, don't tell me we can't do nothing else. Don't. Because we just did that.
Yeah. I hate to rain on your comments, but I just have to say, a Batman title, if I'm a comic shop, I think I'll order a little bit more buffer than that. All right. Anything else? So I agree. I agree. Great work by everybody, but I can't. It's apples and oranges to me.
Well, here's
what I said. No, I'm happy you put that up, Derek. I'm sorry, Paul.
Hold on. This is a good point because that leads to what I was trying to talk about. You have now we already talked about the challenges of trying to get the type of books that we want with corporate comics. There's incentives there that you have to make, and the best way to do that incentives wise is give them the numbers that they're looking for through your pre-orders and your subscriptions. That's the bottom line. I mean, there's no other way you can get around it. All other types of incentives is more emotionally based, and that's not going to work. But then the question becomes, how does that affect the books that we really ought to actually be supporting? The ones that actually have the characters we're looking for, the ones that actually have the stories that have meaning for those characters and agency with those characters that we're looking for, the ones that are owned by people that look like us and created by people that look like us, the Black Indies.
That's right.
That's all the stuff we complain about that we're challenging Marvel and DC to give us, and they have no incentive to do that because they don't care about comics in general, let alone your comics that you want to make or want to see. They're focused on intellectual property management and maximization and marketing. That's what their jobs are. Let's keep it a stack.
So, brother Paul. So I've been quiet. I've been
one last point.
Taking my notes. Come on.
So with all those difficulties, imagine you're a Black indie creator, a publisher, and you have even less visibility than the ones that are in the stores. because you have in the situations like Chocolate just mentioned, where you walk into an LCS. We don't sell that because I don't pre-order that. My customers don't want that, right? We had stories, plenty of stories like that. We've seen it from our own space. We have followers that say, you know what? I tried to go to my LCS. I live in wherever place out in the mid, I don't know, wherever. And they're like, we don't get comic. I was gonna say Ohio, but I don't want to disrespect them.
God dang. You start early?
They don't sell those comics in my LCS. They don't sell black comics in my LCS because I live in this place X. So here's the thing. That's what we talk about. You got to put yourself in the know. You have to follow places where you can, if it's not us, it doesn't have to be us. Be whoever you can get your information about black comics, go there. Make yourself knowledgeable about what's out there. And there are plenty of stores that will ship comics to you. You can pre-order your books with, you can get subscriptions with, and look,
talk that talk. Matter of fact, you know what?
Let him cook.
Like this every month.
Let him cook now.
This is not my LCS. I can't rely necessarily on stores in Florida to have all the black books I'm looking for. So when I pre-order my stack from a store that I know does, and I have it shipped to me.
Rock. Yep.
If that, you do what you got to do, but there are avenues to try and support the black indies, and that's really where our focus needs to be. Now, we talked about that side. Phil, go ahead and talk about what you want.
My boy Phil in here.
This is I'm sitting back. I'm taking my notes. Cause I don't like the. What Chuck D say. I don't rhyme just for the sake of riddling. Y'all ain't old enough for that. That's all right. Y'all parents ain't teach y'all right. We're gonna move on from that. At the end of the day, nobody owes any of us anything. The majors, the indies, nobody does. And we keep talking about ROI, return of investment, and I think that's important for people to understand. Sometimes this isn't an emotional decision. And I understand the data and who hasn't done this or whatever. And yes, I wish they would do this. I wish they would do that. But it doesn't make them, unless there's this nefarious reason why they're not doing this, that's one thing. Because if we could sit back and we could point to the numbers and show that it's something different, okay, now we got a leg to stand on. But they still don't owe us anything. My thing is this. One of the things that I want to do, and Paul, we'll talk about this later, is that one of the things we can start doing is maybe we'll do a show, we'll make a segment where we'll talk about books that are coming out. And we've done this before, but we can make it a point where we have a segment where we talk about, hey, this is what's coming out in the near future for the next couple of months. So you can be aware to go to your LCS and to pre-order. Got that out the way. That solves that. Also,
it'd be cool if we had a retailer that we knew who could help us do a show like that from his store.
Right.
So talk about the books that are coming out and help him promote his store at the same time.
I mean, I don't have a store. Do you have Oracle? Do you have a store? Derek, do you have a store?
Not yet.
I sold mine yesterday.
Crazy
We
idea.
sold yours yet.
Crazy idea, crazy concept.
I didn't see you there.
Wait. Let's get back on task. That's cute. Let's get back on task. The hell out of here with all that shit.
Well, dang. Phil got to be the grown up.
Yeah, you take the hat.
My thing. So Paul also said something. Was talking about risk reverse.
My boy got notes.
I like that. That's dope. I really was feeling that. Because here's the thing. We're talking about something serious, and my whole thing is, as an educator, I want to make sure that I have the correct information, because one of the main things that Derek talked about before, we need to maximize shareholder value, and it's not an emotional decision.
He took notes.
I took notes. I'm grown, man. That's what we do. And I think a lot of times we make emotional decisions because we have an emotional connection to the characters, an emotional connection to the culture, because a lot of us, we connecting to whether our childhood or things of that particular nature. And you know what, that is important. So, but if we want to keep those connections, we have to put in the work. And that's just the truth. We have to go in there and do the pre-orders. If you like number one, like brother Davis was saying, instead of just pre-ordering the first issue, put in for a subscription. So then that way, he can make sure he knows to get you number 1 and 2. Because you say you just want to pre-order issue number 1, which most people do across the board, black and white. What happens is he's not going to automatically, or any other retailer for the most part, is not going to automatically go and put in an order for number 2. Mm-hmm. So the thing is this: we have to get to a point, and it's hard to do that, but it's hard for us to get past the emotional decision. I always say, in my personal life, I don't believe in making emotional decisions, because you always make the wrong decision when you make an emotional decision for the most part. You want to make an intellectual decision. And Paul also said we also got to understand that these comics are usually vehicles for other IPs. They're for bigger things, and some of these are just stepping stones for them to get to these movies and things of that nature. Yes, we want DC to do this. Yes, we want Marvel to do this. But if we want those things to happen, we got to do our part. You can't make the team if you don't go to practice. So going to practice is actually going and putting in your pre-order.
Ooh, say that again. Say that again. Say that again.
Charge, they got to put some money in the super chat for me to say that. This is what we do. It's serious, man. Like it's not a game, because I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna get into it, and I'm sitting back and I'm quiet. No disrespect to any of the other podcasters and things of that nature, right? And I'm not gonna tread lightly, because that's not who I am. I'm a man. I'm grown. The difference between BCL and
hey, go to commercial. Go to commercial.
Don't go to commercial. Get the hell out of here, Herschel. You won't be here at all anyway, cuz. So that don't count. When we report something, I agree. Here's the thing: I can agree with people and I can disagree with people, right? But I also feel as if when we come in, we have a very non-biased, fact-based show.
That part.
And so for me, and I feel like I love watching these other shows, because a lot of times I get some really good things out of them. I really do. But I also feel like when you come to our show, it's not a numbers game. I don't care that we don't get 20,000 views, 15,000 views. I'm going to get the right views. You go into our chat, you'll have the creators, the artists, the publishers. DC and Marvel sitting in here right now. They just ain't saying nothing.
That's facts.
We know that. We have, and the thing is, we don't disrespect anybody, because we working with all these particular individuals. But my whole thing is that we put in the work. Doing this is just something that we love to do on top of the stuff that we do already. We're experts in our field. We know what we're talking about. And so if me or Paul or Talk or the Angel sit back and says to you, hey, y'all need to go ahead and pre-order. If somebody tells you a horse 3 times, you might as well go get a saddle at some particular point. So don't complain about it. We got to put in the work. We can do the hashtag. We can do everything we want to do, but we got to do the work. And guess what? Sometimes you'll do the work and you're still not going to get the results. It rains on the just and the unjust. Everything ain't going to work out the way we want it to. I want to start preaching today, Rick. That's what's for Sunday for Rich. But all I'm going to say is let's put in the work. And, and listen, the comics in general, like Chocolate says, it's a niche within a niche. Numbers are down across the board. We don't make if every one of us went and bought these black books, they still may not get 5, 6, 7, 8 issues, because that's still not enough.
That's the next conversation.
Okay, I'm done.
No. Man,
You hit the nail on the head. You absolutely did.
Yes, sir.
Phil.
Yes, sir.
You on point tonight, brother.
I'm always on point, baby. Don't say tonight. Don't put no caveat on that.
You on point. You were.
See what happens with those
And
dominant.
I wanna say-
Hold on. Hirsch trying to say something.
You
Hirsch
should
trying
never
to
wear
say
those
something.
those Dharmas ever again.
So
'cause you were spitting.
so Philip brought up a good point. Hershey on
Wait,
the show.
Herschel's here?
Hirsch
Listen,
trying to say
Crazy.
something.
Crazy.
Listen,
The
Crazy.
beat
The reason
owned
why-
himself.
the reason why
Herschel, hold on. I know you're trying to say something, but first and foremost, it's been a minute since I've seen you online, so we got to go ahead and applause for that. No. We're not just gonna walk away from that.
All
We're
right,
not just gonna walk
listen.
away from that.
The reason why
Yours.
I don't say anything is because I gotta wait 45 minutes just to say something. Because everybody's got a
That's because we showed up on time. Herschel.
Somebody's got to.
That's because we
That's
on
because
time.
we showed up on time.
Because we on time.
Philip was short, sweet. But when Paul goes, Paul's gonna give you a dissertation. But you're gonna hear he gonna go 20 minutes. It's all good time, but he gonna go 20 minutes. So you might want to go pack a lunch. But y'all go ahead.
Yep.
Can I just make a quick comment about we were talking earlier about the Black Indies, and I just want to say the direct to customer hustle is tough.
Yeah.
Being an indie publisher, not having distribution, and having to go out on the road and sell your book at conventions, do crowdsourcing, figure out how to make an e-commerce website, that shit is exhausting. It's a lot of work. I think that the conversations that we're having now are lifting all of us. There's room enough for all of us, but there's still a lot of work that needs to be done to help out the indie Black publishers. And I'm aware of that, and I'm part of the solution. I put a lot of those books on my shelves, but it's deeper than that. I think what we're talking about now is building, and you all will see more information coming out about this soon, but we're actually starting to build a collective, because at the moment,
Mike, you gonna talk about that now?
I don't mind talking about it, man. It's not, I mean, it's in its early.
Wait, don't you?
This is a Black Comic Lords exclusive.
Oh, it's yours, my good man.
That was a nice
All
voice, I tell you.
NDAs right now. We just like
A
No, it's
Black
good.
Comic
We're
Lords
talking about it.
exclusive. I'm gonna give you all,
Let's make sure we get it.
because I think it's important you all know that
Tear up,
the
tear up the
conversations.
NDA. Screw that. Tearing that up. Don't have to worry about it.
Look, I'm gonna be real careful how I say this, but no NDAs required here. Look, I think because of all the conversations that we've had recently and the success of this title, because of all the work that you all did, the retailers did, and all the folks mentioned, I've reached out to other Black retailers about us building connections with each other and having a group, a collective, if you will, of Black retailers to help specifically with some of the challenges that the indie Black publishers are having, among other things. But I think when you were talking to Paul earlier about having a schedule and knowing when their content is coming out, that's an area we could help with. So like, I don't see myself in competition with other Black retailers. I want to be able to work with them. And when Angel said, I think you said earlier, Angel, you were actually thinking of or working towards having a store. If there are people who want to get in this industry, I want to help them, right? This don't have to be amongst the retailers, the Black retailers. We ain't in competition, but we're not talking to each other. So because of all of this this work that's been done recently and the conversations that have happened, I'm putting together a collective. If you know a Black retailer, tell them to get in touch with me, Blurs Underground. We're trying to build this out from scratch. But the goal is to talk in one voice, to have the Black retailers be able to have conversations with publishers in one voice, and to help Black indies have a direct line to shops rather than having to pitch to 5, 6, 7 different shops while they're also on the road.
Wow, you letting the whole cat out the bag, Mike.
Listen. If you're gonna drop it. Let him drop
Mike's
it.
letting the whole cat out the bag.
Just
Let me
saying.
ask you a question, Mike. Is this
Well, wait. I want to wait before we move
Get in
on from
there.
what Mike's talking about.
Get in there.
I want to insert that as we are building a collective to have more power and say in Black creation, what I do, and that's why I said that it's coming. I want to be able to not only consult on comic book creation, but people don't realize that in order to go to a publisher, you have to have a minimum of 3 comic books already printed. So I am working for the next year to do first comic printing for those that don't want to self-print. So that is coming. I run ads every week. And that's what people don't understand, is that you don't have to do it all by yourself if you know how to reach out to resources. BCL, has all of us in this group together, and we just have to say, hey, who can I go to that does this, this, and this? I have a contract right now where I maintain the website for this company. So, like, there's all kinds of resources. So those that are on the con circuit, you can get a hold of me. I'm not gonna charge you, the corporate prices, but the stuff will get done. So you're not by yourself. Just reiterating.
Yep,
for now anyway, because as she grows and becomes more and more busy, yesterday's price will not be today's price.
Hey, can I
yes.
shout someone out really quick? I just want to shout out while I'm giving all these secrets away. My partner in this, DJ Young Venom, is up in here watching.
Have you not said enough?
I have.
Nah, he ain't said enough. He ain't said enough. Hold on.
DJ Young Venom, if you don't know, that's Philip down there in Offbeat Comics in Mississippi, in Jackson. Nice. Please support the brother. He's working with me. I got some folks in Atlanta. If you all know Challenges, Antonio, he's working with. We got some folks that are really putting some energy behind this, and I think you all will start seeing more about this coming up. But the idea was just to start with these conversations, right? And figure out how we can help. One thing too, Angel, is that I'm working on is like with the indie publishers, one of the hard things that they don't have data or access to right now is how are their books selling in retail shops, right? Like the idea is to get their books on the shelves, but it's also to provide them with some data back to say, here's how your book's been selling in my shop. Because if they want to go and get distribution later, if that's the path they want to go to, it's a stronger argument when you can go and say, hey, we got books in stores across the nation, and we can show you numbers, how much we're selling in each market that you already have distribution in. That's a game changer. But most of the indie Black publishers right now they don't have access to that data. Stores might buy their product, but they're not telling how much they're selling it. And it's hard to track what you're doing them at conventions. So a lot of this just boils down to setting people up for success. We want to set up the Black indies for success. We want to help the Black retailers, and we want spaces like this to help promote all the creators that are out there putting this work out into the ether. If we can keep that Black dollar circulating just like that, then we have collectively a whole lot more power than just everybody kind of out doing their own thing.
I want y'all to understand.
Hey, Paul, super quick. Paul, real quick.
Hold on. Just 1 second.
But it has to do what it's real quick. He mentioned something. Come on, man. Give me 1 second. Shout out to your boy Young Venom from Jackson, because he made a point. He made a comment about he got an ego. I messed with him already.
Like Flex is coming. I feel like. Go ahead.
Because listen, he made a point. He said, "Man, I got that case that you got."
I know this dude.
Listen, just so
I knew a flex was coming.
Oh.
Hey, I knew a flex was coming.
This is my 45 record case.
Oh
man, is that Mantronics?
I like that.
Mantronics player.
Yep. What?
Yeah, man, I got some Mantronics in there.
In a 45?
Some alchemists, some more alchemists. Yeah, I got.
Right.
I got heat.
The reason Big Phil is showing this, y'all, is Offbeat has a blended. He has a comic book shop and a record store in one, which is a dope ass concept. So if you're a fan of both comics and vinyl, hit the brother up. Go to his website.
You gotta get my boy Q Rock. My boy Q Rock in the West.
Mike,
while we're doing that, question for you.
Hold on.
Let me ask my question.
No. One interruption.
Limited to brick and mortar.
One interruption per time.
Right now it is.
Follow up on what Mike said. It's very important because I don't want everybody to gloss over what Mike said.
Talk to me.
Mike just dropped a huge bomb.
Absolutely.
And I want everyone to recognize what he's talking about.
Mike.
Okay? He's talking about putting together a network for all of us. My man Rich talks about this all the time. He says everything that we need in the Black community in the Black comic book community is right here.
Tough.
Within our community. there's no reason, there's nothing that we can't accomplish. We just proved that last week. Right? We just proved that last week. Now imagine taking, and this is what Dennis Cowan said, and I don't know if people really understood what he was talking about, because the brother's been here, he's done that. There's nothing new under the sun. He dropped game on everybody last weekend. That's right? He said, understand, this is how all of this works. You take this and then you let it grow. Putting together a network is tremendously important for all of us, because we're throwing all our support behind stuff that we don't own, and we have avenues to make it work. And one of the things Phil said is, look, if all of us just bought one book, it'd still not be super successful. And that's a whole nother conversation we can talk about in terms of the types of comics that we're going to put out, the quality of comics we put out, where our focus needs to be, because that's a whole nother conversation too that we got to have. You can't just put a book on it and put a black face on it and say, go buy my book because it's dope.
Some of these books be ass.
That's a whole nother conversation. That's a whole nother conversation, but it's a conversation we need to have. But I don't want you to understate what Mike said in terms of this network. This is what's possible. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie. And he's talking about putting numbers together.
Yes, sir.
That's being smart. That's not being emotional. That's being smart. That's taking action. Right? If you're going to do it right. And I'm for that. I'm done. Go ahead. Y'all do your thing.
I got my answer. I think I was waiting.
Yep. We just lost a giant in Reverend Jesse Jackson. And I think when I was coming up, I didn't really understand the significance as much as I do now, back when he was forming Rainbow Push here in Chicago and talking about the power of cooperative economics. And, having to look at the industry now and seeing how so many of us are in space, we don't even realize the significance of what we have grown. Like, there are more Black retailers today in this industry than there ever has been in the history of comics. There are more Black creatives. There are groups like this with 90-some thousand followers. We have, to Rich's point, everything. We just got to build those connections so that we can circulate that Black dollar as much as we can internally before it leaves our hands. So,
stop beefing with each other about foolishness.
That's the goal. We don't compete. Like, I'm just about building partnerships at this point. We can all grow together. There's room enough.
Yeah,
that's a fact. To the point, as Paul was talking about. I told Paul today, Dennis Collins was dropping super gems. But then he also said, I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. He dropped, I think it was, I forgot what the indie comic was. But it's an indie comic cover, Dennis Cowan. Listen, it's not a DC, it's not Marvel, it's an indie. Dennis Cowan cover. Come on now.
Yeah.
Well, let me say this too. On the flip, it's not all doom and gloom also. So I don't want people to think that because there are people doing some beautiful things out here in the space. And I think everybody's doing okay. I think a lot of times what happens, and I don't want people to, we're not focusing on that. It's just that this is kind of like a hot topic this particular week, and it's something that we wanted to talk about because it's important, especially with situation with Milestone and Brother Illich. But there's some beautiful things going on in this particular space. If you look at us, we family. Like, we'll sit back, we get on this show, and we get ready. We got this whole thing we're gonna talk about. Next thing you know, we talking about each other, we cracking jokes, we doing whatever. But it's all love. Like, at the end of the day, we got comics in the forefront, but it's just about us getting together as a people. It gives us an excuse to sit back and kick it with one another. And we all got our own particular projects going on, and we all need to support each other. And I don't want to say we all need to support each other because we do. We make sure that it's a point, But the thing that we also need to do is we need to make sure the people when you're in the chats and things of that nature, we need for y'all to share. We need for you to like. We need for you to hit all the buttons. Do all the little internet things, because when we're on here, we're just having these conversations, and you're actually just literally kicking it with us at the damn barbecue. You know what I'm saying? And that's just what it is. And I got some really dope stuff coming up, but I'm not gonna talk about it. I'm gonna wait a couple weeks. I'm gonna stun on y'all in a minute. Ooh, it's gonna be crazy. Lord have mercy.
Your boy Rico's calling you out.
He already know. That's Deacon. That's the Deacon right there. He over there.
Yeah. One thing Phil said, I really want to hit home with everyone. Other than please like this video, take a second, like the video, share this video, hit that hype button if you're watching this on YouTube. That apparently helps. We want to get this message out. But one thing Phil mentioned is this isn't about doom and gloom. Actually, I feel real positive about comics.
We should. Good. Trust me, we should.
Particularly after this past weekend, I'm feeling real good about comics. And I kept trying to hold Mike back. I mean, I don't want him to spill all the beans of stuff that's cooking. But remember, I told you beginning of the year, BCL's gonna try and amp it up and take it up another level. Whenever y'all know me to lie about stuff like that, right? I mean what I say. There's stuff cooking within the community, the Black comics community. I hear projects that people are working on. This Phil talks about this is like another Black Renaissance. This Black Renaissance maybe is probably better. I think objectively speaking, is better than the original Black Renaissance in comics.
The man was prophetic when he said it.
Right?
Thank you, my brother. I tried.
I mean, I remember asking Dennis Cowan once, like, the struggles that Black creators have today. Is it like the struggles that you and your founders and your OGs had back in the day? Your Chuck Pattons, your Billy Grahams, your MD Brights, may he rest in peace. Your Arvell Jones, your Keith Williams, your Keith Pollard. Are the struggles that these creators have today like what you guys had? He flat out said he wasn't trying to be, diplomatic. He said, no. We went through a lot more than what people had to do today. So when I see these internet beefs about, creator going against this company or this artist going against this person or whatever. We bunch of Black nerds fighting over fake people, fake characters. Like, come on, man.
What are you calling a nerd?
That part.
I'll subscribe to the nerd, John. That's too far, cuz I don't.
This isn't life and death. It's comics, and this is Black people have always been at the forefront of fields of entertainment, creativity, and the arts. And there's absolutely no reason we shouldn't be at the forefront of comics as well. We should be dominating this stuff. Our stuff is dope. We got dope creators in our space. We got dope characters that exist that came out of the minds of us. We just need to get out of our own way, man. Stop the foolishness. Let's work together. Let's all work together.
On the flip with that too, Deacon Paul. I feel like too.
I'm just a grown ass man. I'm just a grown ass man.
I feel you, and we also have to recognize one thing that we really, really need to talk about too is when we go back and we look at the struggles of the Cowans and the Pattons in all those particular individuals who came up through the Milestone. Then you had before that who you had Billy Graham and Arvell Jones in that particular squad, right? So, I'm a historian. I can't even imagine what the likes of Jackie Orms and Matt Baker and them went through. If we look at Baker, now I'm gonna keep on. Now I might get canceled on this. I don't care. Somebody make me big, man. Come on, man. Don't.
Uh-oh. He's
Don't
taking the
Here we
stage.
go. His pulpit. Here we go.
play me. Don't play me.
Phil's pulpit. That's what we're gonna call it.
Pittsburgh is the mecca of Black comic history.
Say that with some bass in your voice, man. Stick your chest.
Argue with your moms. Pittsburgh is the mecca of Black comic history. We got Jackie Orms. If you don't know who she is, log off, do your research. Matt Baker, I don't want to hear what Rico got to say, block Rico, but Matt Baker grew up in Pittsburgh. Here we go. Matt Baker grew up in Pittsburgh, PA. He went to Westinghouse High School, which is 10 minutes down the street. Matt Baker was so good at what he did that white publishers had no choice but to hire him. Now, I want you to think about that.
And pay him well.
Choice but to hire him. And this is back when we drinking our separate fountains. Think of this initial situation. We know he was born in North Carolina, but you know where he grew up at. You could be born in New York and grow up in Alaska. You're from Alaska. All right. So let's move on. We love you though, Rico. Matt Baker was so good at drawing women that it became a problem, to the point where one of the reasons why the book Seduction of the Innocent, he's partially responsible for the comics code. Him for the sexual part, how good he drew white women specifically, right? And EC Comics for their graphic violence. Matt Baker was also a well-dressed, good-looking Black man, to the point where now they want to say, I'm going to keep it 100. They want to say the man was a homosexual. No issue if he was or if he wasn't. But they started, there's a rumor, and we're going to keep it 100. To the point there's even a book that's coming out now, or maybe out now, where a publisher, where that is part of the reason why they want to do the LGBTQ, whatever. I don't want to say it wrong, but I know what I'm talking about. Pride mixed with the Black, and the issue is they want to lump him in there because they couldn't understand why this man dressed so good. And you know, when you Black in them spaces, they're not going to sit there and give you the respect and the love. They want you to do the work, but they still going to try to throw some dirt on your name. These are historical facts right here. We're going to keep it 100. We're on record. You think I'm lying? We can holler at the brother Ken Quattro. We'll tell you, he's an historian who wrote one of the greatest books. When he was questioned about that, he said there's no evidence of that. There was a person who was jealous of him and wanted to spread that rumor. Now, people want to challenge me on that. Challenge me on that, and we'll see what comes up. If people say, well, that's not important, it is important. It is important because people always want to change the history when it comes to us. And we're not going to do that. Matt Baker was known as the ladies' man. He dressed good, and that's what it was. And he comes from that area where Black folks dressed a certain way. We were dressed in everything that we did. When we marched from, when you ever see Martin Luther King in a protest, them Black folks didn't have on no t-shirts and no sweatsuits. They had on ties, suits, hard bottom shoes. Shit was different. And some of those white folks had an issue with Matt Baker, but they didn't have an issue with him making that money for their company. So when we want to talk about what people went through, we have an obligation to be excellent in what we do going forward when it comes to making these books, making these films, doing these educational visual representations, because these ain't podcasts. When we do things like this, we have an obligation to honor these people's memories. Jackie Orange was the first Black woman cartoonist. These are things that we just have to do. And I get very passionate about this. This is one of the reasons why I did Collections in Black. This is why I have a mural in my city. This is why I have these exhibits and things like this. I don't make a whole bunch of money when I do this shit. Excuse my language. I don't. I do this because I love this, and I do this because it's important to get the history. See, all this other stuff we talking about, some of that shit don't mean nothing. It don't mean nothing. The important thing, let's get the history right, and also understand that we're creating history. At the end of the day, I don't want people to look back 20 years from now and talk about all these Black dudes did was arguing online about some damn superhero. I don't want that. That's not the legacy that we need to leave behind. The legacy we need to leave behind is that we left behind we stood in the footsteps of the Billy Grahams, the Dennis Cowlins, the Matt Bakers, Stephanie Williams, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be quiet. I'm done.
Nah, brother, it's an important topic to bring up, because when we have these talks and we're talking and we're trying to explain to people why it's so important to build these bridges and take this to the next step, you have to understand the journey in getting here, the historical context. You know what I mean? Like, before we go too deep into like the conversation about representation, like, I just want to remind folks, now I can't flex like Pittsburgh. I ain't gonna sit up here and tell y'all Chicago was the black Mecca, but there is a gentleman here who I have to honor in this space while we're talking about history, and that's Tourtel Only. And what a lot of people don't know is I actually had an opportunity to meet him before he passed. He just passed a couple of years ago, and he had ideas about starting things that we're talking about today, and wanting to see this collaboration. For those of y'all who don't know, Tourtel Only is the founder of what was called the Black Age of Comics movement.
He came up to Pittsburgh. Hey, Paul, he was here. He died like 2 years ago.
Yep.
He came up to Collections in Black when you were here, and he came before you came to the thing. He gave me he gave us a pamphlet or whatever. I have the Black Age of Comics. He had it all printed out. And I'm sorry, brother. Go ahead. I know you're talking.
No. You hit it on the head. I mean, when he started in the early 1900s, long before we had diversity panels and folks being asked to come up to C2 to speak and all that, we weren't at conventions. They weren't asking us. They weren't asking our artists to come to conventions, our writers to come to conventions. So he created spaces where his own conventions, where Black creators, characters, and readers could all come together. He started that, because he knew we were getting locked out of these conventions. What he understood, I think, early on, and it's something that's still true today, is that like representation in comics doesn't just happen because we ask for it. It happens because communities organize, support creators, build audiences, and create the infrastructure. Like, those are the things that he started. So like when we talk about the legacy of Milestone, we talk about Tourtel Only, when we talk about all these historical figures, it's up to us to carry that legacy forward. We hold that, like we're responsible for that at this point. We don't know how long we're gonna have some of these greats we've been talking about. I'm blessed that I've had an opportunity to meet Tourtel before he passed, but they passing the baton to us. And while we got all of this, you know, this creative genius and Stephanie Williams and Anthony Fowler and Morgan Hampton and all these young folks that are coming up now, create the infrastructure around them so that we can start building up this entire space full of Black creators, Black businessmen, Black groups like this, like as much as we can, making this making this legacy something that can withstand and survive us even.
Beautiful. Paul, take it.
This is we don't have all the solutions, but what we have is the beginning of a conversation that needs to be had. And if you get anything from tonight in this conversation, is that we need to be asking more of the right questions, and we need to be seeking the right answers. And I think we've named some starting points for us to look at as a community when it comes to us ultimately supporting the books that we want, supporting the characters that we want, supporting the creators that we want, supporting the publishers that we want, to make it thrive and grow and actually give us happiness. And this is not something that we're going to stop doing. We've been here doing this, right? This isn't a new thing for us. This is what we were created for. We're not about, not to put too fine a point on it. We're not really about followers. We're family. And we want this family to support each other. That's what we're about. That's what we're always going to be about.
This is the big dog table. This is the big dog table. Everybody can y'all can have your side conversations. Everybody can't sit at the big dog table.
Everybody can't sit at the big dog table. Listen, we're gonna go to a commercial break, and when we come back, we got something special to show y'all. Dr. Wizard,
Comics are different. Those things cannot be returned if they do not sell. Okay, so that means that if they buy 10 copies of Monica Rambeau Photon and nobody buys it, they eat that money. And your local comic shop is, the margins are very thin, right? Times are hard for everybody. And so what that means is that it gives comic shop owners incentive to be very risk averse, right? And so you could order a bunch of Batman and you know that every month people are going to come in and buy Batman. It's often characters of color, new characters, lesser known characters where they're like, I don't know, this could be good, but if I put this on my shelves and people don't buy it, I lose money. And I'm sympathetic to that. That's a real assessment that they have to make. So the way that we avoid that is you go in and you pre-order. So Paul goes in 3 months before the comic set comes out and says, hello, I would like to pre-order Monica Rambeau Photon #1. I'm not going to wait till it comes out. I'm telling you now that I want it. And at that point, they're like, okay, let me go ahead and order this. And in the comics world, that is the sale that counts. By the time you come into a store and purchase a comic book, that sale does not count. I know it is ridiculous. It is very silly. That is the way it is. The sale that counts is when the store orders it from the distributor. That is what they are counting. And so what that means is that when you go in and you pre-order things, it actually gives that store confidence. Like, okay, Paul said Paul's going to be back and spend his $5 on this book. So we're good. If we order this one, we know it's going to sell and we can pay our rent. We're not going to be eating this cost this month. The best thing to do is your subscription or your pull list where you go in and you say, I want you to put these in every month for me, right? And then they will set that aside in a box.
Message.
Paul, you need to unmute.
Oh, you on mute. Paul, mute.
Mute. Push the button.
Unmute, Paul.
There we go.
There we go.
Fix these bugs in the system, man. This is crazy. But listen,
Gremlins.
tonight we had last week we had the Milestone thing, right? We talked about the Dakota Incident book. It ended on a great note. The last splash page said Static is back. Static's gonna come back. The book did well. Hopefully, we're gonna get a second print of that book. Hopefully, we'll get some dope artists to do covers, some variant covers that will inspire even more sales by having variant covers. And let's make that one sell out too. If you didn't get a copy or you want to get some copies for some other people, go to your store and ask for a reorder. Re-up the comic.
Right? My whatnot.
Reorder the Dakota Incident. And let's make the second print sell out too if it comes out. We sell that out. Let's get a third print. Then we'll get even a more. Maybe we can get somebody that we love to do the variant cover. Shut up, Chocolate. That's all I will say on that. But anyway, Static, as Joe Illidge said, he's $1 billion franchise in and of himself. How do we know this? Because we heard of this dude named Miles Morales who did 2 movies with Sony, right? Understand, Marvel sold the rights to Spider-Man to stay in business.
Yeah,
They sold it to Sony. They sold the entire Spider-Man catalog, including his Rogues Gallery, all characters that even surround Spider-Man, sold to Sony. Sony says, let's make some money here and let's make a movie with Tobey Maguire. They made a bunch of money. They kept making money. They kept making movies. They kept making more money. Marvel finally decided in 2008 to get their act together and do their own movie, Iron Man. And that led to them creating Marvel Studios. But Marvel Studios had sold out, had not owned all the properties it had sold off. They sold off Namor to Universal Studios, and I believe the Hulk as well. They sold
Yeah.
Fantastic
Yes,
Four.
the Hulk was over there. Yep.
20th Century Fox. They sold the X-Men to 20th Century Fox. But as Marvel Studios grew, and then they got picked up by Disney Studios, Disney properties. They had the capital, they had the money to buy these properties back. One by one, Universal, 20th Century Fox, all these smaller companies getting all of their IP back. Because as we just talked about, corporation, IP, business. They go to Sony. Sony, we got all this money now. We got Disney behind us. We're making money with these Marvel movies. Sell us back Spider-Man. Sony's like, nah, son. We making money. We don't need you.
Yeah.
But think of all that we can do. We can have Spider-Man join our universe. The fans want it. We'll make all this money. Yeah, but we were kind of making money without you. Oh, come on, man. Let's just bring Spidey home. He's our core character. He's our Superman. He's the face of the company. Why should we split the pie with you? Because we can make more. We can have a bigger pie. Let's work something out. Let's split the pie in our favor, and we'll let you borrow him when you need to. All right, let's talk terms. Lawyers talk, lawyers talk, lawyers talk. Tom Holland gets Spider-Man. What about Miles Morales? Oh, no. We got plans for Miles Morales. Put him in the MCU. We can mention him, say his uncle's there. Yeah, it's cool. We got plans for Miles. What are you going to do with him? Don't worry about it. We got it. They go ahead and drop 2 Miles Morales animated movies, which honestly, in my opinion, better than the live action Spider-Man. Better than the live action Spider-Man. They made a whole heap of money. They got Oscar nominations. They were winning awards with a black kid from Brooklyn. Some little hip-hop teenager with superpowers and electrical powers. His name is Milestone. Miles Morales. Milestone. Wow. DC Comics, you have access to a character who's also a black kid, a teenager, hip-hop kid, electrical powers from Milestone.
Talking about Bolt?
But Bolt. But you gotta share this. You gotta share the pie with Milestone. We can make money with this. Well, we want to own our own IP. That was our deal. But we want to make stuff. Well, and they have to have these discussions because Milestone don't want to sell a bigger piece of the pie that includes them not running their own IP because then it's not Milestone, it's DC.
Right.
That kind of defeats the point. Because you sure as hell don't want corporate daddy telling you what to do with your Milestone characters. I don't want that. They don't want that. That wasn't what Dwayne McDuffie wanted. That was the whole point of the deal, the groundbreaking deal for which many indie creators now benefit from with the deals that they have with these publishers. I say all that to say, if Marvel could do that with a secondary colored copy of Peter Parker that has more flavor, imagine what DC could do with an original character that preceded that character.
That's right.
My man Rich would say is the basis for that character.
No.
Who also has his own rogues gallery, who also has an entire universe surrounding him to be explored. So yeah, Joe Illidge, you're correct. It's a $1 billion franchise. He had his own cartoon. It was successful. A whole generation knows about this kid's name from a cartoon. And he didn't even have any merch. Imagine if they had sold Miles Morales, Static toys and merch and lunchboxes and costumes.
Yeah, that was weird that
That
they
was the
didn't.
actual problem. That was the problem.
That was so weird that they didn't.
That's the problem.
This is possibly one of the greatest superheroes that just hasn't had a chance to get his shine. But there is one fan, one super fan, who recognized this a long time ago and has made it his destiny to be the number one collector of Static. Mr. Virgil Hawkins. Mike Carson.
What's going on, everybody?
What up?
Hey, how you doing? So I've been sitting back listening, and I have a lot to add to the conversation. Being a big fan of Static, I want to first shout out Joe Illich.
No. Pause. Not a big fan of Static.
The biggest fan of Static.
Biggest fan of Static. I'll give you that.
So I want to shout out Joe Illich, Stephanie Williams, Nicholas Draper Ivy, Dennis Cowan, the whole Milestone family. Appreciate what you're doing. Continue the great work. Shake off all the haters and just stay laser focused. I definitely agree with you guys with pre-orders. Pre-orders give the numbers up front as well as builds the energy with the corporate side. But I want to speak on a little bit of some of the things that no one else mentioned that we as fans can do. It's the little things that kind of help build a brand and build a character. So if you go on eBay right now, there's tons of Static books from the original line that are still available. We went out and we were able to sell out all around the country last week. Commend it, and I respect it. And I also want y'all to take that one step further and support the original books as well. And what I mean by this is there should not be a copy for sale within our community of any 9.8, so Static, any slabs, anything online. It should be to the point now where that book is so hard to get that people are talking about it. If you see with Miles Morales, for example, his book Shot to the Moon, that helped push his brand as a whole. So as I go out and I look for a book and people are like, oh, this $1,000 book, what is it? And they go do more research. I think Static's books should be looked at in the same light. So with almost 100,000 people in Black Comic Lords chat, I encourage you all to go out and buy a copy, a raw copy for a young kid that doesn't have one, and never, ever, ever sell. Being an econ major, I understand supply and demand. And once these books start drying up, it becomes more of a thing that people will covet. We seem to always make things hot and everybody else kind of follows suit. I think that if it's to the point where, hey, I'll go looking for a Static book once you start seeing these movies and everything start to roll out and these books aren't available, it makes it a lot more important. So I had to drop that 2 cents. Lastly, I want to say we did a big thing too for going out and supporting. They asked us to go out and buy 100,000 copies. We did it. On the flip side of that, I think me as a fan and you guys as well should ask things of Milestone Media as an independent company as well. As a fan, I should be able to go out and buy merch. Paul just mentioned about it just a few seconds ago.
Where's your X hat, man? Where's your X hat?
It's it's around here somewhere, but that's the thing. I should be able to go right now on Milestone's website and be able to purchase an X hat or a hoodie or a shirt. So I encourage y'all, while we are, going out and supporting and buying the books, these are tangible things that you guys can add to the mix that us as fans can help support, that helps build an essay, and you can take that money and help to roll out some of these own projects on your own. And we will support you for that. So we should definitely be able to go buy hoodies, shirts, icon, merch, everything right now. Another thing I don't see, and this goes for small comic creators as well, there's not one small comic creator that has an audio book or Apple Podcasts or anything. You talk about the book, But me as a fan, hey, I go spend money and buy audiobooks on Audible and all the time. I read Lord of the Rings books, Stephen King's books all the time. I can't go purchase, or at least I don't know of, any Milestone books uh, or any small Black creators that's out there. So I encourage you all to go out and start you an audiobook series. I would buy it tomorrow. I would listen to it at work while I'm working out, whatever. That's a good way to get your work out to people and build a fan base in a small, tangible way that's different from actually being at conventions all the time as well. So it's my 2 cents. No one mentioned, and I think it will help build brands outside of just the typical buying the books and supporting. It's other things that we can do as a community to help build IPs on the side too.
Good stuff.
Thank you for that. Putting everybody on some. But I must say, I was a little distracted by the wall behind you.
Dude, that wall. I'm sorry. I put him on full screen. I said, God dang.
Mike, I believe there was some discussion recently about your recognition by CGC.
So
first, sometimes we have people here that aren't that deep into comic culture. Can you explain what CGC is?
All right, so CGC is like the premier grading company out there. Anybody who's in comics know there's people who don't believe in grading books. There's people that are. Either way it go, there's supporting the hobby for both ways, and grading comics is kind of the new wave. One thing people don't pay attention is how Slab count actually pushes characters in the books as well. And the great thing about Milestone books is a lot of these books have low slab counts as well as low print runs.
Pause. Again, there are some people that may not know what you're talking about when you say slabs. What's a slab?
A slab is what you see behind me, a graded book. You have multiple companies, CGC, CBCS, PSA is now in the mix, but CGC is the premier company and pretty much the one that everyone goes to. So,
and that's encasing your comic,
correct,
in a plastic container to preserve it. It's airtight. And it has a grade saying the quality of it.
Yes, and this way it preserves the book in a way where down the line the grade stays the same, and it kind of helps retain value as well as calculating how many slabs are out there and how many are in possessions of other people.
And if it's my understanding, the CGC specifically also has records. There's a registration number for every slab, so there's a registry for your slab with CGC.
Yes. So a lot of people don't know, outside of just having the book, you can go through and check different registries of ranking your collection. So this gives the data out to different museums, colleges, collectors as well, to kind of gauge and see what's out there on the market, and you can kind of base prices off of scarcity. So I have the fortunate opportunity to have the #1 static collection on the CGC registry.
Pause. Say that again.
The #1 static collection out there on the CGC registry. And the way they do this, hey, appreciate that. How you take this?
So for all intents and purposes, Mike Carson, the man on your screen right now, has the #1 static collection on the face of the freaking planet.
Yeah.
Damn! And let me add to that too, because unlike the rest of the individuals in here, I've actually seen this collection in person. It's so impressive.
What at me for?
It's impressive to see that wall firsthand. I've known Mike for years. He only lives a couple hours from me, and I had to make the trip to go check it out. We sat back and we filmed, and it's not that he has just the sheer numbers, the fact that they're all in 9/8, which is literally the highest grade that you can have. And I remember when he was grabbing all these particular books. And this is not an easy feat. Like he was saying, that there's so many of these books are low print runs and things of that particular nature. And I know we're dealing with the milestone, but the one thing I want to say about Brother Carson is that he's a master collector. Like, he has some of the best culturally relevant comics you'll ever see in your life, and in very good grades. And it's just,
So talk about what a 9.8 is, so people that don't know understand.
Chris, Mitt, I put you like this. Sometimes the difference between having a 9.6 and a 9.8 isn't that much different to even some of the hardcore collectors. Sometimes you can't even tell the difference. But you know what you can tell the difference in is that price. The price discrepancy between a 9.6 and a 9.8, depending on the book, can be thousands and thousands of dollars. And sometimes that's not fair, but that's why the 9.8s are such a coveted number. And I think I took that picture right there. But Carson he's just on another level with it. Like, and I'll say this, he loves DC. Me and him go back and forth about Marvel and DC, but he's a super DC fan, and he is, I don't know anybody that has a milestone collection, a static collection, like he has. And all respect.
So I want to jump in real quick because I feel like I say I want to get the history right. I want to make sure we get the history right because 9.8 is not the top.
Well, I know what 10 is, but hold on. Let
me school y'all. Hold on, because 9.8. You're talking to someone who lives and breathes CGC. Let me do this. Hold on. So 10.0 is the golden number. There's not a lot of 10.0s out there in the world. 10.0 is the golden number, right?
There's somebody on this panel in front of us who has 10.0.
I know. Yeah, you're talking to. I got 3 of them. Listen, CG original art. That's for y'all. CGC, come to my world. This is what we do. 10.0. That is absolutely golden. That means the book is God level. There's not a blemish. There's not a stick. There's nothing wrong with that. It is ultra rare to get a 10.0. After that is a 9.9. 9.9 is the secondary golden number. 9.9 means this book is goddamn beautiful. It might have an imperfection, but it's gorgeous. Now, 9.8 is the public standard. So 9.8 is the public standard. Anything above 9.8, you are God level, right? So 9.8, I don't think people understand this about Mike's collection. One, those books, low print run, and you have to also remember, back then, CGC wasn't prevalent like that. So when they were printing these books and LCSs were having them, the books were, I don't want to say manhandled, but they weren't properly cared. We didn't really care about bagging boards back in the day and all of that situation. I know, because I have a lot of them.
And the type of paper was different, too.
Absolutely. To get a 9.8 consistently on these books, right? All of us have had static milestone books. We've had these type of books, right? In terms of from that era. The paper is different, like Paul was saying. And then obviously, wherever you get it, dollar bins, whatever, the amount of meticulous ordering that needs to happen, meaning he bought a static one. Nope, not good enough. He bought another one. No. I don't think you guys get that. Then the pressing that comes with it. Pressing is another CGC feature where you would take a book, such as this, you take a book, and the book has dings and ticks. So now we're getting into CGC language. Ticks meaning the indentation. Is it a color breaking tick? Is it a color bleed? Is the paper white? If it's off-white to white, all of that comes into play. So you can press it, meaning you remove the indentations. I don't think you guys get the level of care and how many books this man had to purchase to get it. That's number one. Number two, I don't think Mike realizes CGC released a tier of books called Prestige Edition. Prestige Edition means you have, so let's take Phil, right? Phil probably has all the goddamn Matt Bakers, right? So Phil,
I wish. I know you lying.
If he had all the Matt Bakers, he would not be with us here right now.
Let me get this point so we can get back to Paul and Mike. But before, I want y'all to understand the brevity, the gravitas of what Mike has done and what we are looking at. Because even me as a fan, I'm like, what the So CGC released a Prestige Edition. So we all know when it comes to CGC, you got blue, which means it's just slabbed. You got yellow, that means it's signed and authorized or whatever. Then you got new yellow, black means that it's verified. CGC came out a few years ago with Prestige Edition. Prestige Edition means that you have a rarity gem. You have to have a minimum of 15 to 10 books that match, meaning the continuous run, the first print, the ash can, all of the above. Mike, I don't know if you know, but you have a Prestige Edition behind you. If you were to take those books and not reslab them and literally just go to CGC, your barcode is going to change because CGC didn't have this feature, but you are grandfathered in. I can help you with. You don't need to help you with that. You can figure it out respectfully, because you're 100% up to par. But your collection is a Prestige Edition. When it comes to Prestige Edition, guys, there's not a lot of prestigious slabs. CGC literally says, "Hey, this collection is prestige." They give you a separate labeling, whether it's blue, yellow, and they say this collection, meaning every individual book refers to the collection as a whole. So now from issue 1 to issue 50, every slab gets a separate number, and it's literally organized as prestige 1 through 7 CGC static. I don't think you guys understand what we're looking at. What the heck? Boys and girls, I'm sorry, we got to do this again. Guys, this is holy. Paul, please.
I think chocolate probably needs some tissue right now.
Yeah, dude. You know what? It's like when Phil talks about original art, I understand, but I also don't get it to a degree because it's not my lane, right? You gotta know your lane. You gotta stay in your lane. It's not my thing. I respect original art, but I'm not there yet. I haven't graduated to that level. CGC, that is my level. When I see this in front of us, I'm like, I don't think y'all understand. Dude, this is literally the PhD, the master class, the Rolls Royce thing. Whatever, Phil, jump in here. What is the highest level of original art or antique vehicle? This is it. No bullshit, no smoke. This is the first time I'm meeting Mike, and y'all know me. I talk shit for free. You can't make me talk positive about you. This is it. This is it. Matter of fact, you know what? We got to put on the blue FUBU. The red FUBU is for the Trumpies. We got to put on the blue FUBU. Like, this is it.
I like that FUBU hat.
Like, I don't think y'all understand. Like this, oh my God.
And I want to shout out everybody that went out and bought a copy last week too, because FUBU who? Like, how did they try us? This FUBU who?
Listen.
No.
I bought 3 copies.
I need FUBU comics to be a thing.
And Mike, you shared some receipts with me, Mike, didn't you? On how your collection stacks up.
Well, yeah. So I sent you some receipts a little bit. So there are a couple. So for whatever reason, last week CGC did recognize another collector out there that finally completed a whole complete 45 set. So I do want to shout out Ken Johnson right there of the number 2 one right there, Geeks and Mob Peeps. He's a great guy. He actually hooked me up with a couple books along the way. So shout out to the Alley Oops in the community. And I do want to give a shout out to William Henryan, another dope static collector who's maybe 10 books away from completing the 3rd set. So whatever we can do to show love to this character, we're going to do it. I read in the comments and someone asked like, what does slabbing a book do to help the character as well as helping the grade of the book? Personally, I would say it's probably cheaper for you to go out and just purchase Slab 9.8 at this day and age. Instead of doing the guessing game and trying to go buy raws and stuff like that, there's tons of affordable static ones out there right now that you could get from $85 on up for CGC 9.8. I know times are tough.
Mike, talk about how much does it cost to take a raw book and have it slabbed?
So a raw book right now, you're looking at about $27 to get graded from CGC. That's not counting shipping or pressing or anything of that nature. CGC does
all in shipping, pressing. How much are we talking about for one book?
For one book, you're looking at about $12 to $20 shipping there, $12 to $20 shipping back, plus about $27 for a modern book. I highly recommend someone pressing any and every book, and you're looking at another $25 there. So 50 to about $80. That's about the price that you're looking at for a modern book right now.
So if you can find a slab, a 9.8, something like that,
under $100,
that's under $100.
buy
That's a
it.
deal. That's a deal.
Buy it. Give it to a little kid if you don't want it. Keep it in your collection. Never sell. It should be to the point that nobody else can go out and buy static books. It's about time that we do that for the community, and that's how you build wealth and keep the money circled into one situation. So
Mike, you see this question? You see this question here? Static newsstand variants.
So newsstands are tricky just because CGC didn't keep the numbers of the newsstands that they were slabbing going throughout the years. I do have a Static One newsstand and a few other books as well. Those cut down the slab count significantly. I may have seen out of the 100 or so, or I think it's about 200 now, blue label slabs in 9.8, maybe 5 newsstands. And that makes a big difference as far as like collectors go. If you want a newsstand, you want to complete.
Let's take a step back. Let's define what is a newsstand, Mike.
So back in the day, they actually sold comics from a newsstand. Instead of going up and picking them up in comic shops, those books were tossed around, tattered, a little bit more handsy with customers, and the count on those are a lot lower than the traditional book that you would actually buy from a comic shop. So newsstands are a lot more scarce than any book out there today. So if you can get a clean copy of a newsstand, it's going to be generally worth a little bit more than your collector's edition. So if I had to speak on too, if I have a couple minutes, I can throw out there a couple comics static that I think are important and why.
Oh, please go ahead. Go ahead.
Yes.
So I would definitely tell you everyone should have a copy of just Static number 1, whether it's Slab, bagged still, the original bag ones, those are dope as well. From there, I would say the next 2 important ones are the blue label as well as the platinum. And I keep mentioning slab counts because in this day and age, comics are drawn off of the business.
This is the platinum one you're talking about, right?
Yes, sir. It's silver 10 around the electricity going around as well as the name compared to the original collector or orange copy. It's just gray, so you'll notice a little difference.
Put that raggedy 9.0 back in the box.
Hey, it's signed by Dennis Cowan.
It said raggedy. How you gonna call a slab raggedy?
Yeah, hold on, Paul. Is that the one you got for me?
Yeah, it is.
I feel offended to a 9.8. Don't let me listen. Don't do that.
It's not my fault you didn't sell me a 9.8.
It's not my fault you ain't paid for the 9.8.
Wow.
Hey, Mike,
you out there hustling 9.0s.
Hold on for
9.8
real quick, because I want Mike to finish. What
other few books to get
was important about the 10s and the 9.9, but you have to remember when these were originally being slabbed, et cetera, there weren't any 9.9s, there weren't any 10s. That's new.
No, yeah, that's new stuff. And it's going to be few and far in between that you'll find people risking to crack open a 9.8 to go try to get a 9. Pretty much a 9.8 is the epitome of like the top tier.
If you see a 10 or a 9.9 that was slab, like 2 or more years ago, and that's really rare. But these days, those things are coming out like crazy now.
Yeah, I don't put much stock in those. I will say this, but there was a static that the one before Static One. Remember, do you have the Static preview book? Was it a preview also?
Yeah. So there's a couple stack previews. There's the gray and blue one with the blue writing on the cover. I have that in the raw form. I will encourage everybody to go get an Icon one because there's a static preview in there that predates that as well. Hardware one as well.
Book. Icon one should be worth way more money than what it is.
I agree. And there's 2 covers to that. The slab counts on those are pretty low too as well. And I always mention slab count because this is what the collector side talks about, and this is the things that we kind of look for. We look for low slab counts where the book is scarce and that has like a high energy behind it. Static is one of those characters with I think less than 200 or so of the blue label 9.8s. A few of these books, like Static 25, there's only 3 9.8s out there. It's the controversial condom cover that kind of broke up everything. For the longest, I had the only one. People literally had to go out and crack other books, press them, send them in to get another 9.8. So those are the type of books that I tell people to go after, because if 3 to 5 people are only ones walking around on the planet, that kind of extends the the prestige for it a little bit. Lastly, I would say 2 more. Number 40, stack number 40, Rolling with the Lost Boys. It has the distinction of being the first hip hop variant. So for all you guys out there that collect hip hop variants, I will highly recommend that you go get the Lost Boys edition, specifically because they passed these out. And I'm talking about the Lost Boys, the rap group from the 90s, if you're not hip. They actually got Static 40 and passed it out at concerts and just threw it around. You can imagine how many people damaged those. And this was like a 10,000 print run. So you can imagine how many of Static 40 covers are actually around. And if you go on eBay, you'll look. It's not cheap. So those type of books are ones that you need to keep.
Hold on a second. I'll pull up that Static 40.
Yep.
There we go.
Love, peace, and happiness.
There we go.
Yep, that one right
that
there.
cover is incredible.
The first hip hop variant.
Dope story, features Icon and hardware is in there as well. So definitely one that you should add to your list. My personal opinion of the most important Static book that I think everyone should get out there if you're into collecting for value or anything of that nature is Static 45.
Mobius.
This is the last work of Mobius. If you're not familiar, he's an artist back in the 80s and 90s. Extremely well worked overseas. This is his very last work. So not only do comic fans seek this book, but people who collect his art actually go out and seek it too, because it's his last piece of work. Very low slab count since it was the last book. As they start trending down the line of books, they start printing less. So I want to say this is it was between 6,000 to 9,000 of these books actually printed. My personal humble opinion, this is a must-have for any Static collector, raw form, whatever form you can get it. Add this book to your collection. It's the last of the Static run. And then,
hey, Carson, I got a Mobius fun fact for you. Somebody pulled out something. I didn't know that. Did you know that Mobius did a demo for the Heavy Metal movie where he did his own scene? There's nobody knows where it's at. So he did. If you look at certain sections of the Heavy Metal movie, it actually looks like Mobius, because him and his team actually did their own version of certain scenes, but it never came out. I actually saw somebody that had some of the actual animation cells that from his version of Heavy Metal that Mobius did, and the guy pulled them out and showed them to me. I saw him when I was in Florida a couple of weeks ago, and it was just ridiculous to see that. And I didn't even know Mobius was originally supposed to do Heavy Metal, but they went with somebody else.
For sure.
Y'all learn something new every day, cuz every day.
Crazy. Yeah, that's crazy.
Couple more modern books I just want to show, just because I make sure, since these books are available now, I jump into it. Another book I highly recommend people go out and get is Static Shadows of the Dakota, number 4.
I need that one at 9.8 for real.
This book right here, a lot of clean copies out. It holds the distinction of being the first full appearance of Eben. And those who are familiar with the Static Shock cartoon, he's the main big bad in the whole Dakota universe, or in Static's universe. He didn't actually appear in the original 45 set. He actually first appeared in the animated series. Yeah. So this is his first full appearance. It's in the second series, Static Shadows of Dakota, number 4. If you can see. And shout out to Nicholas Draper Ivy. He signed this at GalaxyCon for me. Beautiful cover. Did the art on it as well. His first cameo appearance is in season 1, number 6. And I got that info just tuning in live on Black Comic Lords from the good brother Paul over there, he hit me to that one. So there's maybe 4 cameos in between this one, but this is the first full appearance of Evan. So something to add.
That's nice, man. That's real nice.
Another rare one, and I want to shout out Ken Johnson again for he tossed this in as just an extra, and I've been actually looking for this book, so I'm super hyped. This is Static Shock #1, the Brazilian cover.
Right here. I got to talk about that. I got to talk about that book. He got that book from me. Hold on. I got to talk about that book. So I made a deal with a particular publisher. I am the only person that can sell that book on United States soil. Ken bought that from my whatnot a few years ago. If anyone has that book in American soil, they bought that directly from me because I'm the only person in America that can sell that book.
Hey, shout out to you and shout out to Ken. Well, see, I got this as a gift, so and I'm pretty sure Ken bought this.
See right there. Shout out to Chocolate. I bought 2 of them. I'm the only person. Even Dennis Cowan, when I reached out to him, he was like, "How the hell did you get this?" I was like, "Cowan, this is me."
What did the title say? Super Coochie? What's that?
No, Super Shock. So that's
Super Shock.
Super Coochie.
That's how they pronounce it in Brazil. So if you can see right there.
Hey, Mike, how they pronounce it?
Super Shock. This nigga said Super Coochie. What the?
It's spelled SUPERCHOQUE.
Always some foolishness. Always some foolishness.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to behave.
I was trying to get the vernacular right.
I'm trying to behave because I know he didn't mean it, but he's like Super Coochie.
and then I also want to make sure y'all don't ever slip on the action figures that's out there.
Boy.
McFarlane happened to drop a modern Static. One thing I want to note too is this one says Static on it. And I note that just to say that I know that DC owns the rights to Static Shock.
Please.
Right.
So I say this
please enlighten the audience on the difference between Static and Static Shock.
So DC owns the trademark to Static Shock. Shout out to my good brother Oski in there, Rico Jones, for the knowledge always, but it is what it is. So I encourage anytime you see any products that just say Static, and this is just me spitballing, this money kind of goes directly to
Milestone.
This one right here.
There's also a reason that one looks entirely different. So I've seen that one for years at shops, and I hate it. And I always call it the Bobby Store department. And obviously, actually, if you put the other one up, so that one is the McFarlane one. If you put the other one up, so people don't realize that one is just the DC Universe one. And this is why it's also good to have allies, regardless of color. So DC Universe one. Remember, Static Shock, they can't touch that one. That's why that one looks like a Bobby Store knockoff. So that was the main one. That's why it looks like trash, because they can't, at the time, they couldn't do it the proper way. Todd McFarlane, with his juice and his connects, being who he is, he says, no, I'm going to do this properly. Because remember, that was the end game. The first 2 were the Icon and Icon Platinum, but that was the end game.
Of course. This is the original.
Oh, come on now, Paul. Come on now. Yes.
The Icon version.
Come on.
Does anyone have one with the yellow jacket?
No, I do not. That I do not have.
Yeah.
So you're trying to flex? Does anyone have one signed by Dennis?
That is a flex. That is officially a flex.
Don't start flexing off.
Does yours have the
he
yellow
already
rain?
started.
I'm not gonna front. That yellow coat
I
is
got
fire.
this one.
All jokes aside, that yellow jacket is fire.
Right up here too with the yellow jacket.
Where are you getting these yellow jackets from?
This is Black Comic Lords.
That's why it's called. You're supposed to have.
Don't be disrespectful.
Yellow jackets from you printed them?
I get it.
Oh wow.
He said, "Did he print them?"
That's like asking Phil where he get original art from.
Wow.
So Paul, on top of that, there's another out there. There's the Funko Pop as well. Yeah. Make sure you go out and get that as well. And then I also don't want you guys to slip on, because a lot of people don't go after them, is the original Skybox cards from the 90s.
Yes, sir.
Got them sealed at the handy always.
Here I got, Blood Syndicate. I got your Rocket. But what a lot of people don't know is that when you crack some of those packs, they have in their exclusive hologram cards.
Oh,
in there.
damn, Mike.
So
Are you
lot,
serious?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of
I've got
people don't
3
know
unopened
about these.
boxes.
They
I
got
need
one
money
for
to
all
crack
of
the
them.
box.
Icon Hardware has one. Static has one. Yeah.
Here's
Oh,
the
you late,
here's
cuz.
the
You
hardware
looking
one
for
right here. You start cracking some of these old packs that's out there, you can get whole boxes
Get your
for pretty
packs.
affordable.
And Mike, don't forget, let them know that the resale market, they are selling sealed packs. I buy at least 4 packs a month, but there's an infinite enough of them. Like eventually you're not gonna be able to find them. I
Yep.
buy 4 sealed packs a month just because for my whatnot shows. But there's not a lot of these up there, and they're not remaking these. So go get them.
And that's the goal I think us as a community need to get behind is say Static does pop off and becomes a big name like Milestone or Miles Morales did. People are going to start going to look for these cards and these first appearances in some of these books that I just mentioned, and then you're going to be behind the ball. So you got a leg up that you can go get some of these books at affordable prices, some of these cards, the originals, the new ones. Get what you can, because say it does blow up one day, at least you got a leg in. You were here back in 2026. You can say 10 years from now you was listening to these guys on Black Comic Lords and you went out and spent a couple dollars and boom, you got to come up. So
Hey Mike, Rico wanted you to talk about this Superman and Superman and Batman featuring Milestone for Kids issue.
So
I have it somewhere around here.
Oh, what's that?
That's probably one of the rarest books out there. The Superman Batman series, it was like a 7-episode magazine of sorts that came out in the 90s. They did a feature story about Static, Hardware, and Icon. Don't have that book pulled out. I would have to go dig for it. Rico has one.
I have it too. It's somewhere around here.
But it's
Did not know about.
I haven't seen one for sale on eBay in probably 5 to 6 years, and every time it does, it goes for a pretty penny. So,
well, what is that? Hold on. I've not seen this book.
Yep.
I'm sorry, that was me.
That's it right
Superman,
there.
Batman, Milestone.
Nah, I've never seen this book.
Yeah, it's not easy to find.
Definitely one of the rarest books out there. You'll see
sure.
one pop on eBay every blue moon. Like I said, it's been a while since I've seen one pop up.
Never seen this book. That's crazy.
Yeah,
learning everything every day.
It's just this one is one you want to get. You also want to get.
You showed me, the preview. Yeah, the preview.
I'm still hot about my experience last year.
I'm not trying to bring up bad memories for you, but this is
what happened, Derek.
This is particularly
Derek, that was Paul who did that to you, cuz.
Wait, no. It's the post office. The United States Postal Service.
Paul,
this book for me, I had this book for the last 30 some odd years because this was my start on the Milestone journey. I literally saw this book at my LCS in '92 before they came out. And said, what is that? Give me all of that. Add all of that to my subscriptions. And you hear me talk about pre-orders and subscriptions. So in '92, I saw the preview book and I went to my LCS and said, I want a subscription to everything that has the word Milestone on it. And that's why I didn't have to go back years later and chase these comics and buy these books retroactively.
You had them.
I bought my entire Milestone collection. I bought back when it originally came out, and I had subscriptions on it, so I had a discount on it. So I probably paid less than $1 for some of these.
Tough.
Yeah. So my story is, I have like 4 copies of this, but I found this guy online that had a whole box of them. He had about eight of them, pristine. He shipped them to me, but he shipped them using media mail.
Oh no!
I think it was. Yeah, and he didn't.
You want to talk about it? You gonna be all right talking about this, Derek?
Yeah, he didn't. I might be. I don't know. He didn't seal the box well, so the box arrived, and there's no books in it. There's an empty box.
Nah,
the stuff had fallen out, and I chased the post office for 2 months, and finally gave up. Got my money back, but that hurt. It was a good deal. I think it was about 8 of them though.
Damn,
pristine.
My man would have been set.
Derek had months of therapy to deal with that.
Nah, that's a hurt. That hurts me.
Yeah.
May I show something I picked up recently?
Uh-oh. Here we
Yes,
Why
show
is it gotta
us.
be why is it gotta be
No.
Mike, look what you started.
Hey, my bad. I apologize.
Mind you, the whole time we flexing, Mike's in here tomorrow. Just look at my background. I ain't gotta do nothing.
I have a package. I have.
Wait, did your stuff arrive already? No.
Now this particular package.
What the heck is that?
Came from DC.
Ooh, fancy. Full
Back in
screen.
the day. This is dated April 25th of 1994.
What the?
The postage is from New York.
Mm-hmm.
And it's to this artist, Albert de Guzman.
Alberto de Guzman. Why does that sound familiar?
Because he is a former comic book artist. He died a few years ago. This was basically from his estate. That's what I've been told.
Okay.
So back in the day, DC used to send like courtesy packages. They probably still do to some extent.
Like comps?
Yeah, something like comps.
Okay.
So it wouldn't just be the comics, but it also say like promotional materials. So I said, you know what? The price wasn't bad. I mean, it was,
What the hell did you buy?
and so I said, all right, 94, DC. And so has a letter.
Oh, official too.
Guzman from DC. And it says memorandum to freelancers from Alice Rayford regarding monthly mailing, April 22nd, 1994. What's new this month? April showers kick DC Comics into overdrive. Superman Doomsday. That's what Superman Doomsday storyline came out.
Wow.
Be on the lookout for the Milestone explosion. Now there's Cobalt, Zombie, and the Shadow Cabinet. 3 new ongoing series in the Milestone lineup. Check them out. This letter says. This is what they said to him.
That's crazy.
So I look further into the pack, and I see this. DC Current Events. On the front cover is the Superman Doomsday storyline that was coming out. But if you look on this part, it talks about Cobalt, Zombie, and Shadow Cabinet from Milestone. And you go inside, and there it is. The first appearance of Zombie, Cobalt, and the Shadow Cabinet. This is where they first appeared before the comic books came out. On the preview.
That's cool.
Sick.
Right? And then what also came out that month? There was a book that was done by 2 other Milestone creators, Dennis Cowan and Dwayne McDuffie. Does anyone know what book that was?
Hardware.
No, not a Milestone book, but a DC book.
Dennis and Dwayne. You're not talking about Thing in Hong Kong Fooey. Was that it? No.
Nope.
Is it a Justice League of America?
Phil, I'm surprised Phil doesn't get this, considering he had it part of his collection.
Oh, Prince.
Oh, yeah, the Prince book.
So this is the first.
That's right.
This is the first released artwork from that book.
Tough.
Prince's book, written by Dwayne McDuffie, drawn by Dennis Cowan.
Oh, sorry.
Preview on that.
By the way, Eric, go ahead. There's more.
Mike, do you remember this hardware issue? Remember this hardware issue?
I have it. What is happening?
None, Sean.
I have that.
That hardware one right there.
This one right here. That's not hardware
It's
one.
it's a card stock. I have that one.
That's the card stock where he got his new costume, his new.
Oh, what hardware 16?
And they're advertising.
Yeah, 16.
Yeah,
Icon 14,
the die cut
in the book. So anyway, it had a lot of stuff like that in there. Then they also had comics, September comics. Yeah, that's it.
Whoa, what's that, Paul? What's that?
Comics, September comics. Talking about what's coming out in September. And it's got stuff in there. Let's see if there's anything of interest in here.
By the way, Derek, I just bought one of those diamond preview catalogs on
Oh,
eBay.
let me,
Somebody
Paul.
had-
Let me just put this up on screen. I'm going to show you this. Okay.
yeah, somebody had it, and I was like, $100 sold. I bought it, so screw that.
All right, here it is. Here's what let me just break in. So this
Yep.
this was the eBay listing I came across.
How much did you pay? I gotta ask.
And it was $100, and I think there's 6 of those previews.
All of them?
6 of them, yes.
Yeah, you went to therapy. Yes, you did.
And I paid for the priority shipping too, right? So why? And anyway, yeah, I was sick. I was sick when that box came in empty.
That was literally that could have been the origin of your villain arc.
Yeah,
easily.
What?
Let me
right,
finish.
back to Paul.
Let me finish up. So it also included the Superman Doomsday. This is basically a huge sticker.
That was all in the pack.
This is what you put in a retail shop. You would basically this is a sticker you would put up on the
wall
glass, window.
Okay.
Because see, it's reversed.
That's nice.
There's that. So I'm like, wow, this has got some cool stuff. There's more stuff about the Doomsday Superman stuff. It's got posters in there. But I was like, well, what else is interesting in here? They had Milestone stuff. World's
that's not it. No.
What you're asking, Chocolate, is if it's this.
Yeah, wait, but that's not the full poster.
No, this is the retail one.
The insert. Okay.
Right. But this is the Worlds Collide poster. You were talking on this show. I think it was Joe that was talking about how each one of these were done by
different artists during my Whatnot every Sunday on Whatnot. Come check it out.
Absolutely brilliant. Also in there, this was really cool. This had, I'm not going to open it up, but it has the full on huge Doomsday Superman.
Oh, the big wall posters.
Big wall posters.
Those are massive. Man. Those are massive. People don't understand.
And then
that's a nice package.
This.
Whoa.
Old stand.
Shadow cabinet.
For Shadow Cabinet, Zombie, and Cobalt. You're supposed to fold this in 3 and it fits together and it's a stand that goes up on your table.
Hey, now you just showing off.
And finally,
Phil is back. Remember, Phil is back.
Who's back?
Phil is back.
Keep flexing, Paul. Keep flexing.
Finally, we have a poster from Milestone.
Wait a minute. Is it the golden one? Is that the Sienkiewicz? Is that the Sienkiewicz poster? No, it's not. It's not.
Yes, it is.
Oh, wow.
Let him cook. Let him cook now. Let him cook.
That is really.
Let him cook.
Let's go, Paul. Welcome to the club, baby. Welcome to the club.
Do you know how rare that is?
Bro, if I told you how much I paid for all of this, you would say I was lying.
I need to know. Now I need to know.
The dude I got it from said he got it as part of an estate sale. He didn't really know anything about Milestone. He's like, I just saw this stuff and I'm just trying to get rid of it. So he sold it to me for like $46.
Wow.
Emotional damage.
Very emotional damage.
That poster alone is worth more than that.
Dude, Joe Illich brought the original. It wasn't that. I'm malfunctioning. I can't even talk.
This whole thing is literally a time capsule.
100%.
From Milestone. It's a time capsule.
What?
Everything that was going on in April.
Jasmine says Paul wins, damn it.
What's crazy is I almost feel like you got to like keep the stuff in there.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Right.
It's like a collection.
Everything except the Sienkiewicz poster, which I have had a space in my wall pushed, literally waiting for this poster. I've been waiting years for this.
Yeah.
I got. You know what?
That's a dope come up right there for sure.
That dope come up.
Nice. Nice.
I only brought this out because Mike's here, and I know
and I don't have one. I've been hunting one down for years.
Wait, you don't have a Sienkiewicz poster, Mike?
Nope.
DM me. DM me.
For sure.
Sexual Chocolate Comics on Instagram. DM me.
I got you.
Now, how is it you do that for everybody else except for me?
Yeah, it is.
I'm gonna tell you why. The man has the number.
Same team.
First off,
everybody gets an alley-oop except me.
Here we go. Everyone gets an alley-oop except me. First off, where am I? I'm on the BCL. Who am I? Sexual Chocolate. And who am I rocking with? The BCL. I don't rock with scrubs. So stop.
I just sent you a request on there just now. And
that's one. I don't rock with scrubs. So stop it.
Kaz was here.
Phil ain't no scrub. Oracle ain't no scrub. Derek ain't no scrub. You ain't no scrub. And we rocking and rolling. So Silencie. Megacon. Who you rocking with? Your boy. Chillax. Now, on top of that, me being a self-proclaimed milestone baby, you cannot have the king of static comics without. So therefore, if I have a way to make him within, I'm gonna make him.
Whoa.
That was a heavy pause. Fuck that. Sorry. Hey yo. All mine just DM me because I went too far. I went too far down the rabbit hole. That's a heavy pause. Hey yo. Just,
that was wow.
That was wild. That was good.
I don't even know what just happened. Hey Kazra, I texted you a video. You might want to go handle that.
Not on the show, man.
Phil, I got something for you too. I got something dope to show you.
Everybody's got something for somebody.
Wait. I got something. And I purposely, because matter of fact, I'm happy Paul said that. Perfect segue. I'm happy Paul said that. Because I saw the bullshit ass text. I don't know better. I saw the bullshit ass text. I didn't respond because I'm like, I know better. Boys and girls, we talk about milestone merch and whatnot. So this poster is an homage to the original milestone poster that came out back in the 90s. This is a crisscross Joe Illidge spectacular right here. Hold on. Let me make Big Paul. Let me show Big Paul. Hold on. Where are you, Paul? Here you go. Boom. Because I want y'all to see what I'm talking about. So you see that right there? So that's the original poster right there. That's the original baby right there. And this is the homage to it, done by Chris Cross, a milestone artist, and my mentor, Joe Illidge. I mean, Joe Illidge needs no introduction. We, and I say we because Joe and I, we partnered together. We are only printing 20 copies of these. That's it. 20 copies of these. I got people reaching out to me talking about, yo, Chocolate, hold me one, homie.
I know 5 of them is already gone, so you should have just said 15.
Here we go. Now, on my whatnot, that's Saturday.
Talk, Phil.
On my whatnot, that's Saturday, that's Sunday, I sold 10. People were pissed at me because they were like, where's mine? Marwan, you already got one. You already got one. Everybody was like, yo, where's mine? I already sold 10-ish. I purposely said on my Instagram for the Black Comic Lords, for the Wednesday wrap-up, I'm only going to host 8 of them. That is it. We are not the same way how Phil was like, my collections are black. We ain't printing no more. This is it. We are only going to sell 8. These copies will come already signed by Joe Illidge, already signed by Chris Cross. You know I'm going to MegaCon. You know we're going to try to hook it up. That being said, for the Black Comic Lords, for those that are here on the Wednesday wrap-up, I need you to do a few things. This ain't free. First, I need you to like and subscribe all of Black Comic Lord social media situations. Our Facebook page, if you're not there, our YouTube, our Instagram. Make sure you share. On top of that,
Threads, Twitter.
Listen, all of the above, and I'm gonna check. Now you're gonna get yourself to my whatnot on Sexual Chocolate Comics right now. I mean, on my whatnot. If you don't know, y'all know already. And I have 8 of these bad boys hosted on my whatnot right now. Once they sell out, I'm not putting them up no more. And Paul has been on my whatnot. He knows that I can let these fly because he's experienced it. I said I'm gonna hold some back for the BCL. I only have 8. Once they're gone, they're gone. Don't talk about, yo, Chocolate, hold me on for tomorrow. Go get them as soon as you can. Go to whatnot. If you don't have whatnot, I don't know what to tell you. Go to whatnot, go to my page, Sexual Chocolate Comics, and you can purchase as many as you want. There's 8 up there. I don't care if one person buys all 8, but once they're gone, they're gone. Don't bother me. Now to my BCL people, because I already see Phil giving me daggers. I can see it already. I know. Leave me alone. Paul, back to you.
Back to me is like, where's my copy? Where's my copy?
Paul sent me that text, and I was just like, Man,
I'm not a hater though. I'll be honest. I would rather if Mike could get one instead of me getting one, I wouldn't be mad because I know Mike is a super milestone cat. So,
Hey, I appreciate that energy right there. I like it.
That type of stuff that belongs in his, like one of those belongs in his collection.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'm gonna say it here because this is recorded, and when it's recorded, you can't go back on it, right? And I'm not an ass betting type of person. I'm not no Indian giver type of person. Once your hands in the pot, it is what it is. So, Mike, you got one. Paul, obviously, you got one. I know you're waiting for it. Phil, you know you got one. Derek, you know you got one. Oracle, you know you have one.
Still got one poster left.
See, because I'm looking at my whatnot right now, and I'm like, sold.
Hey, so listen, wait. I'll take one for the team. I don't want to take all that away from you, man. So if you need to not give me one, I'm fine. I just want to make sure Mike get one. That's my own.
Mike gonna get one. That's that. Listen, and keep in mind, boys and girls, I should have started with this. I am selling them on my whatnot, but all the proceeds are not going to Sexual Chocolate. This is a Milestone sponsored situation. Full transparent. What we didn't get to talk about was the collection or the partnership between myself, Sexual Chocolate, on my whatnot, and Milestone Comics and Joey that is publishing Illuminous. We're about to bring you some exclusive ish. But the same way we talk about merch, this is 100% Milestone sponsored merch. 100%. This is the first wave of 2026. We're only doing 20 just to test the waters. If it does well, we got a litany of artists at our disposal. Cowan is there. He is 100% aware of what's going on.
Right.
We'll get the poster. Once it sells out, we'll print, get them signed, rock and roll, baby. Paul, back to you.
That's what's up, man. I appreciate that, man. I'd love to see some Milestone merch. It's overdue.
I told you, we working out here.
It's overdue.
I'll trade you a sealed Milestone box. I'm not gonna lie to you, Tim. I should show you my eBay. I just bought 4 Milestone box and a preview thing. I just bought a preview thing. Mike out here telling people the secrets.
Before we go, I just wanted to show a couple of upcoming books that I thought people should know about.
Ooh, let's go.
How do I do my share my screen thing?
Let me stop sharing. Am I sharing? No.
Hold on, let's pull some stuff off.
Sorry, let me take
share screen. All right, here's the first one. This is. Do I have to hit an extra button now? Yeah, that's right. There we go.
No, you're good.
What happened? There it is. So this is the upcoming Uncanny X-Men annual. It's on pre-orders right now. FOC ends, final order cutoff ends on Monday. You can pre-order this, get your discount from your LCS by pre-ordering it. This is the run that's being done by Gail Simone. Now, Gail Simone, shout out to her because she put together a story about Black mutants in the late early 1900s, late 1800, early 1900s, in this town in Louisiana. The X-Men have been hanging out. This town called Haven.
Wait, did that come out today?
No. It's coming out soon. This is it's up for pre-order right now.
Nice. There we go. See where I did that? See where I did that?
So these are all Black mutants. A story like this has never been done before in all of X-Men comics. So I definitely want, and on top of all that, there's a sister. I apologize. I don't remember the sister's name, but there's a sister who is co-writing this particular story with her. So I definitely want to throw some love and support on this. Here's another book that I just saw is coming out. Tessina, coming out by Ray Comics, TJ Sterling.
Oh, that's how people.
Have him on the show soon to talk about this. It's about to drop. This is a cover by Aletha Martinez. This is the 1-in-10 ratio variant. This is freaking fire. It is an extension of his sci-fi series Okimus. So this is I mean, look, y'all know how I am about sci-fi, man. Black sci-fi, you had me at that. We don't get a lot of black sci-fi.
Talk about
and
it.
This cover by itself is phenomenal. Aletha Martinez was completely cooking on. This is crazy.
Yeah,
this artwork is absolutely crazy.
I just pre-ordered the X-Men joint. Appreciate you, Paul.
Yeah, no doubt. This is not a pre-order. This already came out. Written by
Oh, I
Natasha
have
Warner,
that. I love it. It's beautiful.
art by Aletha Martinez. More of a fantasy book. Is that what you'd call it?
Afrocentric. It's really, it's just really amazing. The color palette is earth tones, blues and greens, and browns. It's just really beautiful.
I haven't,
Beautiful book.
as we talk, I pre-ordered my books. I haven't shipped to me. I haven't gotten my copy yet, so I haven't read it yet. But I've seen the previews. They even did a trailer. There was a trailer for this book coming out. We talk about what is it that we can do to help Black indies get their books out there, get people to know these books are coming out, besides actually listening to me when I talk about pre-orders on Black Comic Lord. You know, doing marketing. The internet is free. You can market on the internet for free. It takes a lot of work, but it's there. Engaging with people, doing your own trailers. Joe Illidge, we talked about how Joe Illidge did his own trailer to promote his book.
Single-handedly?
They did their own trailer to promote this book.
Yes, they did.
You know, you got to be creative when it comes to marketing, to go where your clients are, go where your followers are, your supporters are, and you know, hang out in those spaces. Oftentimes I see creators, they'll post stuff up on their individual page. It's like, well, that's great, but you might want to actually share that post of your book that you have coming out. Share it in groups that you know would be interested in that. I often take my own time and I repost many creators' posts of what they have coming out on the Black Comic Lords Facebook page, and I hashtag it with Black Comic Creators or Black Comic Pre-orders. So people ask, well, how do I know what's coming out? I tell you what, go on Facebook, put in hashtag Black Comic Pre-orders. It'll tell you stuff that's coming out. I do that I've been doing that for 5 years now. Right? Black Comic Creators, Black Comic Pre-orders. Go find that stuff and go support. So I just wanted to let people know about a couple books that are coming out I thought were dope.
Very nice. I mean, and Paul, I mean, one other thing you also forgot. I mean, this is top of mind. Don't forget, go follow the Black Comic Lords on the League of Comic Geeks, right? Every book you can see it in real time, just like how you have that app where people do stocks, you get notified. Go to League of Comic Geeks. You see everything listed right there, right before you get alerts. Download the mobile app as well. Follow on. There's no excuse to not be in the know unless you want to be willfully ignorant.
One last thing before we go. I'm really proud of this team that we have here. In the span of the 2.5+ hours we've been here, we've talked about, you know, retail. We've talked about the business of comics. We've talked about marketing. We've talked about original art. We've talked about CGC, slabbing, educating people on that. We talked about pre-orders. The comics is a big world. There's a lot of moving parts to it. And one of the things I'm proud about this space is that, you know, we're here primarily to try to be a community. Right? We're trying to, as I say, we're a family. We're trying to share information. We all need to learn from each other. I learn from people all the time. I am not a know-it-all on this stuff by any stretch of the imagination, nor do I try to put myself out there. I'm learning all the time too. When I learn stuff, I try to share it to other people. We all got to put each other on game, man. That's how we all come up. instead of trying to like stab each other in the back and one up each other. I mean, we flex against each other, but that's just fun.
That's just fun. It's never personal.
It's never personal.
It's not personal.
And I learn stuff from some of these flex sessions all the time, man. Whenever Rich, don't let Rich fool you. That brother flexes. He's just mad quiet about it.
He a soft flexer. He'll hit you quick too.
He a beast in his collection. I mean, he got stuff that's phenomenal.
His lard and twice as greasy.
Every time Rich posts stuff up, I end up having to go shopping. So
I mean, I got my Mac Bakers from here. I done got learned. I guarantee you it ain't gonna happen again.
Can I y'all mentioned Matt Baker and Phil mentioned him one time too. So shout out to the GOAT. I gotta show this one time just because I can.
Go ahead with yourself, Mike.
If I had some black gloves, Phil, I would do it, but I might have the prettiest jumbo comics right there. Shout out to my man Jim from JG2 Comics in Canada. I had to go all the way to Canada to rescue.
Take that out. I want to see that. Take that out.
To rescue my guy right here. This might be the cleanest jumbo comics 69 that's out there.
Wow,
that's definitely.
You gotta slab that.
You got the gloss on the cover.
Oh yeah, this is a golden age book right here. If you're not familiar, this is the first work of the GOAT Matt Baker.
Inside, he did the inside. He didn't do the cover, but it's his first work ever.
First work ever, yeah. It's inside. There's a story called Fly Girls that he did the artwork for and everything.
How old is that book?
This is 1940s.
And you touching it with your rare
no gloves.
No gloves.
Just raw dogging it.
It's all right. I plan to get it pressed and clean still. So that's
But Paul, this goes back to what we said with the evolution of BCL. I gotta use myself. The first time I seen that book, my exact words was, "What the frick is that old ass book?" To now, because I got learned, now I'm like, I know the value of that book. I know what I'm looking at.
Right.
And there's black people on the cover, so you gotta love people.
Hey,
yeah, that's what's up.
We gotta put the
Congrats,
black
Mike.
FUBU on for that one. We gotta put the black FUBU on for that one. I mean,
hey,
respect.
Black FUBU on for that one.
And one other reminder. We there's I think an important announcement in the community before all the Milestone news hit, which is that Stranger Comics has an adaptation of The Untamed that's gonna be adapted. So check the news out on that partnership with Viola Davis to make that. And also there's going to be an adaptation of like the follow-on books, which is basically Niobe into an anime series. That's big news, because the key is Seb could have partnered with HBO a long time ago. He realized that they weren't going to treat his IP the way he thought it needed to be treated. So he waited until he could have better control. And now he's got the team, as he says, to protect Niobe, who's a critical character in that. So the reason why I'm bringing that up is because The Untamed, the second print edition, is now available for pre-order, and the final order cutoff is. Actually, I don't see it here. I think it must be maybe in April sometime. I don't see it, but go in and look it up.
It's on pre-orders right now. It's right on. Yeah. In fact, I think it's on our Black Comic Lords pull list. I
couldn't find it on League Comic Geeks. If you can find it,
Seb's gonna relist it back on League. He said that.
Stranger it's not on League yet.
Yeah, it's not on League yet.
And let me say this too: when y'all log out of here, if you care to do so, you can look up Collections in Blacks. I actually uploaded his section that's in the actual film. I did go out to LA with Seb, and we sat back, and it was you got a behind the scenes look at the operation of Stranger Comics that you won't get anywhere else. And I kicked it out there with him for a day. Palm trees, grapefruit, and tea. Man, it was crazy. So palm trees in that order, cuz it was literally in that order. So
grapefruit,
and tea. So I mean, check it out. I mean, Seb's one of the hardest working people in the business, man. And I remember he was talking to me before about how he could have had the other deal, but he wanted to wait because money isn't everything, y'all. And he knew that if he would have went for that bag, his characters wouldn't have been treated the way that he wanted them to be. But he knew that being that they wanted it, that he knew that it had its value. So having that in the back of his mind, he knew, what, I can hold off and let me go ahead and sacrifice and get to where I want to be. And now, here we are.
Oh, he out.
And Phil, we were a few of us joined him, and it's this recording is on the BCL channel too. But we were on with him a few weeks ago, and he just gave a really personal story about the true nature of the sacrifice he made by holding off.
Oh yeah,
that's a huge sacrifice. So I'm not gonna, I won't talk about it much here, but check that video out. Close to the end, he shared a lot there. It's real life stuff.
Louisiana Kid's asking me where I got the poster of the black girl behind your left shoulder with BCL logo at the top. That is
the BCL Con.
From the BCL Con. I might be able to take this down. There we go.
Be careful with her.
This is done by Marcus Williams. Marcus Williams did this at the BCL Con live, and I bid on it and won it because I did not want it misappropriated.
Paul got activated. That's what he's not telling you.
Yeah, I might have been a little irritated by some comments.
Paul got activated, and he said, "Nah." And I was like, "All right."
Well worth it. I love this. It's a one of one, and I appreciate Marcus Williams for coming to the con and blessing us with this.
Yeah, and one other thing I want to do, I just want to thank all the people who have subscribed to this channel. I also want to thank the people that have paid for a membership to this channel. There's actually one person, I guess Henry God Slick, gifted one Black Comic Lords membership. So one lucky person in the chat who participated in the chat got a free membership thanks to Henry God Slick. So thank you for your donation. And then also we had some super chats, and usually we acknowledge those with a super chat a video. We just didn't really get a chance tonight, but thank you to Larry Kwarowitz. And
thank you for subbing too, Larry.
Yeah, thank you for subbing. And JJo4040, and he's saying reach out to Tariq Nasheed. He can promote the book on his platform. He's a celebrity in best-selling movies, making an author. Tell him about DC Sabotage. So, yeah.
Well, tag this video to Tariq Nasheed and reshare it.
What we gonna put?
And then finally, Nerd Thug. Check out the comic turn video game Judah Knight, Knights and Demons.
Okay.
All right. We thank you all. And
I'm just gonna do that extra penny and make it 5. Come on, guys.
But speaking of extra penny, because this is what we're talking about. Phil came online. No, Phil wasn't even online. Phil was like, "Chocolate, I got this book. I know you got me, homie." Boom, sold out. I told y'all, listen, Milestone book, blah 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 blah. Poster. I looked at my whatnot just now. Sold out. One person bought 7 books. Who the heck? Slick as large, twice as greasy in the chat. Bought 7 posters. My man bought 7 posters. I put up 8. He bought 7. God dang. But they're gone. That's it. We're not redoing no more prints.
That's how it works, man. We sell over here.
Hey, but listen, you got a book, you got something going on. Make sure you check out the Black Comic Lords at Gmail. Send the email. We see everyone. So I'm an artist. I'm this. How do I get on? How do I do it? Black Comic Lords at Gmail. Send the email. The proper people will reach out to you and get it like that. You'll be all right. You in good hands. We got you. As Paul says, we all family. We got you.
Paul.
All right.
I'm sorry. Paul, take us home.
Appreciate everybody here. We'll catch you next time. Be good to each other. We got enough stressors in our lives as Black folk. Comics should be our respite. So let's embrace it, embrace the culture, embrace each other. Black Comic Lords, we got you.
Peace, y'all.